Minutes here, and the referee Tim Robinson has now pointed at the spot. The reason why there were checks being made is because Villa thought that there should have been a free kick in the build-up. Diaby went down holding his back under a challenge from the Bournemouth defender Marcos Senesi, but the referee content for the penalty to take place. So Kirkic fouled by Matty Cash, and who's in goal but Emi Martinez, the man whose antics/heroics saw them win a penalty shootout in northern France in the Europa Conference League on Thursday evening. And boy, do Villa love Emi Martinez. Dominic Solanke has his hands on his hips in front of the Holt end. He already has 17 goals this season, the Bournemouth man. Emi Martinez, who was introduced as simply the best goalkeeper in the world before kickoff here over the PA, is against Dominic Solanke. We've played nearly half an hour. It is 0-0, but there is some pushing and shoving now on the edge of the 18-yard box, jostling for position between a couple of players. Luca Dean, the Aston Villa player involved. I can't quite see who the Bournemouth man is because Pau Torres is obscuring my view. I think it's Dango Ouattara. The boos now reach a crescendo as the shoving dies down. Dominic Solanke with his right foot in the West Midlands sunshine against Emi Martinez. He scores, puts it past Martinez, the perfect penalty, and Bournemouth lead by a 1-0.
Thank you, Charlie. You've not missed much here at Goodison Park. Everton keeping possession, trying to run the clock down. Everton 2, Forest 0. We had 9 minutes added on. We've played 102 minutes now, so we're into the 12th minute of added time. How much we will play, only Anthony Taylor knows, because that stoppage to deal with a better injury, Paul Robinson, was a good 6-7 minutes.
There's one thing you can say for sure is that I think we're on for the longest Premier League game in history today, possibly. It was an awful incident. We just wish better, well, all the very, very best. And you hope for him that his team can get it over the line.
Everton 2, Forest 0. They're underway at Wembley. We'll be right there at the conclusion of this game. Semi-final between Manchester United and Coventry. We're heading to Arsenal in the WSL next. Another goal for Becky Ives.
Arsenal 2, Leicester 0. Steph Catley did most of the work from the midfield, just skipping through the Leicester defence. She wasn't selfish. She squared it to Alessia Russo, who tapped it home from close range. Arsenal 2, Leicester 0.
Everton 2, Forest 0. 103 minutes. They're underway at Wembley. Clinton Morrison and John Murray.
Yes, Bruno Fernandes kicked off this second of the FA Cup semi-finals, and I can confirm that Casemiro is indeed playing in central defence alongside Harry Maguire because of all of the injuries that Manchester United have. And Manchester United on the attack with Bruno Fernandes. The ball played across to Garnacho on the edge of the area. A left foot shot which is blocked on the edge of the box. That's the first attack of any meaning. It is Coventry City 0, Manchester United 0.
And we will be right with you, John, at the conclusion of this game. Everton 2, Forest 0 in the Premier League. Everton on the verge of a big win to take them 5 points clear of the relegation zone. Here is Origi battling away with 2 Everton players. Nia Kate rolls it to Murillo through the centre circle. Do Forest have anything left to give? As we tick into the 104th minute, Gibbs-White, Ilanga, those 2 exchange passes just outside the penalty area. And now Ola Aina, far side the left, slowing it right down, almost at walking pace, looking to try and get the cross in. It comes in now from Gibbs-White. That looks way too much for Williams, who just about keeps it in play, but heads it only into the hands of Jordan Pickford. Everton 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Another goal at Selhurst Park. Paul Scott.
It is total dominance. Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 0. We've played 32 minutes. Michael Olise, who scored the opener after 6 minutes, turning provider as he slid the ball across for Jean-Philippe Mateta to get in on the act, sliding it under Lukasz Fabianski. West Ham do not know what's hit them. It is Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 0.
4 goals there. We've seen 2 goals here. Bournemouth leading at Aston Villa. Both the Villa-Bournemouth games and the Palace-West Ham games online. Back to John Murray at Wembley.
We're in the 4th minute. Coventry City 0, Manchester United 0. And it is Hoyland who's bursting forward into the Coventry right-back area, but he plays it back up the line to Rashford. And Manchester United now on the move again. Rashford beats his man into the box, right foot shot deflected to Bruno Fernandes just outside the D. A ball out to the right hand side for him. Gallo is on the chase for this. Gallo has Garnacho at close quarters. Garnacho now attacking into the box, goes for the byline, pulls it across, and it's cleared away over the top of the Coventry City crossbar. First corner of the match for Manchester United. Let's get a first word from Clinton Morrison.
Yeah, it's been a good start from both teams, but Man United look really good going forward down that left-hand side. Rashford's done ever so well, but as you said there, John, good defending from Thomas. Yep,
Manchester United about to have this set piece, but back to you, Chris.
Everton still lead by 2-0 against Forest. 106th minute of this Premier League game. Branthwaite heads away for Everton. Forest are just unable to put any sort of pressure on the Everton back line, but they do have a free kick on the halfway line. So let's head back to Becky Ives in the WSL watching Arsenal-Leicester.
Well, surely Arsenal have wrapped this up now. Arsenal 3, Leicester 0. Alessia Russo with the initial shot was saved, and it was pushed into the path of Beth Mead for her second to tap home from close range. Arsenal 3, Leicester 0.
Forest free kick, Gibbs White, angle towards the back post. It goes all the way through, and you can hear the relief from the Everton fans. That's out of play for a goal kick. 106 minutes have been played. Everton 2, Nottingham Forest 0.
We've got no idea, have we, how much time is going to be added on. We know with the horrible injury to Beto happened in the 9 minutes of injury time. We don't know what's on the referee's watch. You can only imagine there's going to be at least another 9 minutes on top of that. I mean, you can hear the Everton fans now. They're only just now starting to believe at this point in the game. Jordan Pickford with the goal kick, everybody up the field.
They're moving 5 points clear of the relegation zone, with their big Merseyside derby to come in the week, and then a home game against Brentford. It felt a big week for Everton, and they are starting it in the perfect manner. The Forest end emptying. Not too many replica red shirts have remained in the Bullens Road stand. Origi now, the former Liverpool man, he's all in red again today for the red of Forest. Not really had an effect so far, and he's clattered into Mikalenko, and there is the full-time whistle. It's a huge win for Everton in the Premier League. They've beaten Nottingham Forest by 2-0. Idrissa Gueye in the first half, Dwight McNeil in the second half. They are 5 points clear of the relegation zone. Nottingham Forest remain in danger and just a point clear. Everton 2, Nottingham Forest 0, and we're heading straight to Wembley. Clinton Morrison and John Murray.
And thank you very much to Chris Coles and Paul Robinson at Goodison Park for that ever so important victory for Everton. Here at Wembley in the sunshine, Coventry City 0, Manchester United 0. We've got 7 minutes on the clock. Manchester United have already caused the Championship side many problems, but it is still goalless. And here, Coventry attack now with Van Ewak down the right-hand side. O'Hare attempts to give it back to him, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka can slide in and put it behind for what is Coventry City's first corner. Clinton.
Yeah, it's been a good start, to be fair. You're right, John. Man United have dominated in these early possessions and should be 1-0 up. Garnacho missed a great opportunity, but good run there by Van Eyck and good defending from Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, the chance that Garnacho had is lovely flick on actually with his head from Bruno Fernandes, and he was clear. He was on the stretch, Garnacho, but he rather scuffed it wide. So BBC World Service listeners join us on 5 Live as Coventry City have a corner that's going to be taken by the left back, Bidwell, for the Championship side. In it comes to the edge of the area and it's headed away there. Casemiro is playing in central defence. If you've just joined us, this is because all of the various injuries. They've got 5 central defenders injured, Manchester United, including young Willy Campbell, who's not involved at all today. So the Manchester United team I'll give you in a moment, but Coventry City with Collins in goal, Latabodiere, Thomas, Kitching and Bidwell, then Sheaf and Eccles in midfield, Callum O'Hare in the Casey Palmer role, he's suspended for this game, and then Van Ewak on the right, Hadji Wright on the left, and Ellis Sims through the middle. And it is O'Hare now who's come in for the suspended Palmer, who is here, of course, with his teammates. So frustrating for him not to be able to be involved, but O'Hare with his socks down a la Grealish, the two of them came through at Villa together, and Grealish yesterday, he's already in the cup final. O'Hare trying to join him, but this attack breaks down for Coventry, and it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka now. Manchester United in the red shirts, black shorts and black socks here in front of their supporters, who've got half of Wembley Stadium, and in the other half, the sky blue half, it has been absolutely, honestly, it's been actually quite emotional, Clinton, you as a former Coventry City player, to watch their fans inside Wembley for an FA Cup semi-final for only the second time in the club's history. I mean, they are lapping it up.
Yeah, definitely. Before with the flags, then we saw them before, it was brilliant. A proper occasion. Man United fans were a bit quiet, but Coventry fans were definitely lapping it up.
Yeah, the Coventry fans were even singing along to the Manchester United songs. Here's Wan-Bissaka into the penalty area. Back to Rashford on the edge of the box. Rashford drops his shoulder, goes to the left, and then beats his man, pulls it across, but it's intercepted by Ben Sheaf inside the penalty area. The Coventry City captain, the former Arsenal youngster. Then O'Hare fires it forward towards Sims. Sheaf takes it on, the torn central midfielder, and then it's given away on the halfway line. Groans from the Sky Blue fans. Mainoo is able to play it forward. And that's a strong challenge on Højlund near the halfway line. Manchester United though continue the attack. Bruno Fernandes then back to Kobbie Mainoo, and then it comes back to Gallo. So the Manchester United team, Onana in goal, Gallo, Maguire and Casemiro, then Wan-Bissaka at left back, Mainoo and McTominay with Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left, and Højlund through the middle, all for the right to take on the holders, Manchester City, here at Wembley on the 25th of May, Saturday the 25th. So we might have another all-Manchester FA Cup final just like last season, or we could have an all-Sky Blue final. Here's Rashford, 30 yards from goal. It's actually forced further away by Sims, and then Manchester United go back to Casemiro. So how's he going to fare, Casemiro, in central defence, Clinton, I wonder. But here's Wan-Bissaka with a little ball into Fernandes. Manchester United putting pressure on now, the Coventry defence. Rashford's found some space, it's played square to McTominay. McTominay tried to drag it back, and Coventry should clear it. More from Clinton in a moment, but we've got to go back to Selhurst Park, Paul Scott. Not another one.
There is another one, but it is for West Ham. I think we've got a VAR check for offside. West Ham think they've pulled one back. At the moment, it is Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 1. A free kick from James Ward-Prowse. Thomas Souček at the far post, heading it across the face of goal for Mikel Antonio to get a boot to it and tap it past Dean Henderson. But we do have a VAR check. West Ham's awful afternoon so far could get worse if this one is disallowed. At the moment, Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 1, waiting for the VAR to give us confirmation either way.
OK, we'll be back to you in due course. Manchester United attacking with Bruno Fernandes through the middle, attacking to the edge of the penalty area. Rashford is there, he's seen lots of the ball in the early stages. He's cutting from left to right across the penalty area, plays it into the feet of McTominay, bounces away, Coventry clear, Bruno Fernandes chips it in, and then that's headed away on the edge of the penalty area by Latibaudiere. And now Hadji Wright's on the chase, but he's beaten to it quite comfortably by Gallo, who's able to play it back to goalkeeper Onana.
And that's what I'm saying. Hadji Wright's got the... Casemiro doesn't need to dive in there, John. And that's why Man United leave him one-on-one. He'll get destroyed, Casemiro. It's good recovery from Gallo there. Yeah,
so that doesn't bode well.
No, it doesn't. The way he dived in, he knew he didn't have the legs to get back, but it was a good recovery from Gallo. John, is it cold today?
Not particularly.
I don't know why Aaron Wan-Bissaka's got gloves. I'm going to be messaging him after the game to say what's going on.
I actually hadn't noticed that.
I did when he came out. I was disappointed. I was shaking my head.
Springtime in London.
Yeah, and he's from South London as well. He shouldn't be wearing gloves. No way.
0-0. Coventry 0. Manchester United 0. Clinton Morrison with me. Premier League goal scorer, FA Cup goal scorer, and as I say, former Coventry City man as well. And what an occasion this is for Coventry, but they are being tested, they're being stretched. As I say, Rashford has seen a lot of the ball in the early stages, and Manchester United, knowing that they are overwhelming favourites for this match, appearing in what is for them a record extending 32nd FA Cup semi-final against a club that's been involved before today in only one. As O'Hare is able to bring the ball forward towards the halfway line. O'Hare is challenged by Mainoo, gives it to Sims out on the right hand side. He's challenged by a combination of Maguire and Rashford, but it is Manchester United who've been able to win it back. That goal did stand, so it is Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 1, still in the first half hour, I think, at Selhurst Park. Terrible start for West Ham after going out of Europe on Thursday night. Still Aston Villa 0, Bournemouth 1. We do have commentary, by the way, on both of those matches, those Premier League matches that are taking place right now. That's online, so you'll be able to find that on the BBC Sport website. As Coventry attack with their right winger, Van Avaak, plays it into Sims. Sims stretches for it, the former Everton youngster. Then gives it to Hadji Wright, but Garnacho is doing a good job there, helping out in his defence. And then Højlund is nudged into by Latibaudiere, and that is a free kick, says referee Robert Jones. A free kick to Manchester United, just 15 yards inside their own half.
The two of them can be frustrating, John. They're a handful, Sims and Wright, but like just then, Wright just got to control the football and play it to Bidwell. It's a poor touch. It's a 3-on-3 situation, but you can see what Coventry are trying to do. They're keeping their shape, letting Man United dominate, and they're just trying to play on the counter-attack with O'Hare in particular. He kind of cheats, but Kelby Mainoo's going to have to keep an eye on him.
And Coventry playing with the three central defenders, so it's effectively a back five really, with Latibaudiere playing in between Thomas to his right and Kitching to his left, and it is, we look at it now, it's a back five.
You're right, John, you're spot on.
The old flat back five. So that's the way that Mark Robins has decided to set it up today. He's got his tracksuit on, the former Manchester United youngster, the saviour of Sir Alex Ferguson.
I see him the other day, John. I see him at the EFL Awards. He was on the next table, so we had a good old chat.
Did you?
I was telling him about today. He had a big smile. He was confident going into the game, as he always is.
And rightly so. Well over 750 games as a manager now in all competitions. The fourth longest serving of the 92 clubs. And he's done, as you probably know by now, absolute wonders with Coventry City. And the story of this club, honestly, to be here today, it is actually verging on the fairy tale. But Manchester United trying to burst the bubble with Mainoo just outside the penalty area, giving it to the left-hand side. Then Rashford passes it infield. Bruno Fernandes then back into the centre circle. So Manchester United can start again. They've made a strong start. Erik ten Hag, who's got his suit on in contrast to Mark Robins. Erik ten Hag will know the importance of really putting down a marker and imposing themselves on Coventry City and saying, you know, listen, we're the big boys. So the first goal for Manchester United, all important, but it is 0-0, and Coventry have got through the first 15 minutes unscathed. Back to Villa Park, Charlie Slater.
Aston Villa have their equaliser. Morgan Rogers down the left-hand side, a brilliant counter-attack. He takes an extra touch, puts the Bournemouth defender on his backside, hits it hard. The keeper gets a touch, but sends it into the roof of the net. Villa 1, Bournemouth 1 in first half stoppage time. So
1-1 at Villa Park, 3 o'clock kickoffs, those two matches. As I say, the commentary is online, so you'll find that via the BBC Sport website. We've already heard the Everton victory, the commentary from Goodison Park, so we'll have more news on Beto as soon as we get that as well, which sounded like a really concerning injury towards the end of that match, and I'm sure we'll hear from Sean Dyche at half-time in this match. And also in the second of the Scottish Cup semi-finals, Rangers taking an early lead through Cyril Dessers. So Rangers 1-0 up on Hearts. And if you've missed it, if you've just got into your car or your kitchen or whatever, a really important win earlier for Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship, which means that Sheffield Wednesday are now out of the bottom three after a 3-1 win at Ewood Park, and Blackburn are not out of danger. But here in the Cup semi-final, Manchester United continue to have possession in the central third of the field. Now they set off towards the Coventry box again. Coventry defending the end to our right, which is where all of their flag-waving supporters are. Here's Garnacho. He's had the best chance of the match thus far. Back it goes to Casemiro near the halfway line. He could have used Dalot. Instead it goes to Harry Maguire. And Maguire now bounces a pass out to Rashford on the left wing, controls it. And then Bruno Fernandes is out there as well. The teenager, now 19-year-old Kobbie Mainoo. Ball into the penalty area, that's cleared away by Latibaudiere. And then eventually goalkeeper Collins gets it downfield.
He can't just do that, Collins. You've got to try and play their way out, because if not, they're going to be defending the whole of this whole game, and eventually someone will slip up and Man United will score.
As the ball is played over the top for Manchester United. That is a chase from Van Eyck. Rashford is in, and he steered it across the face of goal and wide, and he's saying, Rashford, that got a touch off the defender, but what a chance that was. He got away from Van Eyck. The Coventry defenders were chasing him, and with his left foot couldn't put it on target.
Yeah, I think Collins makes a save. I think the goalkeeper makes a save. I think Rashford's right, but he should really be scoring. It's a good save from Collins, and that is why I'm saying to Collins, keep the ball, because it's going to keep coming back, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to keep them out, but I think it's a good save from Collins. Great run from Rashford. Yeah, it's a good save from Collins.
Was it going wide anyway?
I think you could be right. Yeah, it was going wide. You're right, John. Yeah. It was going right.
Anyway, he got his fingertips to it, and Coventry survive, and they are living on the edge. Coventry in this match, the underdogs. Would be an amazing story if they knock out Manchester United here today, but it is currently Manchester United who look far more likely to score the opening goal. We've got a very big commentary coming your way as well in the Premier League later, the latest, I hope, thrilling instalment in the title race when Liverpool are at Fulham. And this could be significant team news from Sohail Sahi at Craven Cottage.
Yeah, Fulham make one change from a winning 11, John. Bobby D. Cordova-Reid, he comes in for the missing Willian, and Jurgen Klopp, he rings the changes, 5 in total, with Salah and McAllister on the bench.
Salah on the bench for Liverpool. Here is Rashford. Rashford 35 yards out, gives it to Fernandes. Right foot shot, it's blocked inside the penalty area by the head of Bobby Thomas. Still inside the box though. Højlund now on the left hand side. Højlund works it across, comes off the defender, and it's deflected wide. I think it was Thomas. There were several of them in there who was able to deflect it behind for a Manchester United corner.
No, you're right, John. It was good play from Højlund, and it was Thomas. He defends his near post ever so well. But they're struggling, Coventry. They can't get out. They can't keep the ball. And if you invite pressure like this, evidently you score. I'd go toe-to-toe with them. I'd squeeze on and try and play. This is a Man United team that have conceded a lot of shots in the Premier League this season. Manchester
United goal is coming. You'd have to say that.
Definitely.
On the balance of play so far. It's a corner then. Going to go to Hampden in a moment, but we'll see this corner for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes, right footed, pulls it right out to the edge of the box. Garnacho on the right foot, but he's slashed it. He was being charged down by Bidwell. It's behind, it's a goal kick. Coventry are still in it at 0-0, and let's get the news on the Scottish Cup semi-final at Hampden today from Ailey Barber.
Yeah, half-time whistle's gone. The perfect start for Rangers. Cyril Dessers putting them ahead inside 5 minutes. Hearts have grown into this semi-final though. Jack Butland pulling off a point-blank save to deny Frankie Kent a leveller. A blow for Rangers as the influential Abdullah Sima forced off with injury. But there's been very little to split the teams other than that Dessers strike, and at the break it is Rangers 1, Hearts 0.
For the right to play Celtic in the final, it is Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 1. That is confirmed as the half-time score. As Ellis Sims, a rare attack downfield for Coventry City. Ellis Sims, Coventry City's leading scorer with his 18 goals across all competitions, including 5 and a hat-trick in the FA Cup this season. Back to the halfway line, Thomas playing it through the middle, right, then passes it to Bidwell as the left wing back. His cross is deflected to the edge of the penalty area where McTominay is able to get up and head it down, but that's missed by Kitching. And he'll have to recover because Garnacho's onto this, brings it out to the right-hand side, and then is leaned into by Kitching, and the Manchester United man wins the free kick. Might be a little delay because Garnacho is just rolling onto his right side. So while he does that, Clinton, we've also had news of a tweet from Nottingham Forest's official X account, if you can indeed phrase it in that way. But after the 2-0 defeat at Goodison Park, Nottingham Forest's official account saying 3 extremely poor decisions, 3 penalties not given, which we simply cannot accept. Quote, we warned the PGMOL that the VAR is a Luton fan before the game, but they didn't change him. Our patience has been tested multiple times. Nottingham Forest FC will now consider its options.
Wow.
That is remarkable. United on the attack. Dallow's ball across, in! It's turned in by Scott McTominay in the 6-yard box, and Manchester United are duly in front. Coventry City have had plenty of warnings. Manchester United have swarmed all over them, and now Eric Ten Hag's side make the breakthrough. 23 minutes on the clock. It's Coventry 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. If you keep defending the way Coventry are sitting back, you're going to get punished. It was good play down the right-hand side. And Dallo, he's been excellent for me, for Man United this year. Whips a great ball in. And McTominay, McTominay gets in at the back post and just taps it into an empty net. But it's brilliant play down the right-hand side. But it had been coming, John.
Yeah, it did feel like it was only a matter of time. And it duly arrives from Scott McTominay, which they will have a look, but I think he's onside. Yeah, pretty sure he's onside.
I think it's a mistake from Collins. I think if you're coming out as a goalkeeper there, you have to get the ball, and he just completely misses it.
He did.
John, it's a mistake.
He dived forward.
Yeah.
Dived forward out of his 6-yard box, and it went underneath the dive. McTominay gambled, but the gamble was worth it. And you say, Clinton, much maligned. That's 10 goals he scored this season now, double figures.
Exactly, and Man United fans are still not happy with him. Crazy.
First time he's ever done that. First time he's hit double figures in a season for Manchester United. So there we are, Manchester United mentioned how important that first goal was, how much United would want it, and they've got it. And now Coventry's task is all the harder. However, there was quite a strong feeling around the ground that Coventry would have opportunities to score today, so don't count it out yet. And here indeed is Haji Wright, who takes it through the middle, and Casemiro dives in on him. Gets the ball though, says referee Robert Jones. Got a bit of Haji Wright as well, but he got the ball.
He did get the ball, but this is what I'm trying to say to these Coventry strikers. They've got to believe that they can take... That's last ditch, that is, from Casemiro. He's got to take a bigger touch and run him, John, but it was good defended in the air from Casemiro.
In the Women's Super League half-time at Arsenal, Becky Ives.
It's full-time, Arsenal 3, Leicester 0. Tough going this afternoon for Leicester. Arsenal on top for most of the game. Beth Mead opened the scoring on the half-hour mark, guided the ball home from a tight angle off a Caitlin Ford cross to be 1-0 up at the break. 2 goals in 3 minutes in the second half, 1 for Russo, a second for Beth Mead, sees the gap cut to 3 points to Chelsea, second in the table. Leicester remain 10th. Arsenal 3, Leicester 0.
Thank you, Becky. And confirmation, Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 1 is the half-time score at Selhurst Park. Here, Manchester United in front and on course to set up a meeting in the final with Manchester City again. Still 1-0 though. Wan-Bissaka, Manchester United now. I'm sure Erik ten Hag's said to them, don't let up, go for the second, try and finish this off as quickly as possible. 2-0 would be so hard for Coventry City to come back from. And Maguire now passing it through the middle to Dalot, who's in the central area. Dalot just gives it to his left, a few yards to Bruno Fernandes. Here is Rashford now, who's causing havoc actually. Rashford into the penalty area, beats 2 men. He's still surrounded by Sky Blue, gives it back out to Kobbie Mainoo. Now back centrally to Bruno Fernandes, square to the goal scorer Scott McTominay, who twists onto his left and then finds Wan-Bissaka. Now Rashford inside the box, and that is smuggled away by Van Eyck for Coventry, who's actually fouled in the process. So Coventry have a chance to have a breather with a free kick on the edge of their own penalty area. So we've heard the news on Arsenal and Leicester in the WSL. What's the news on Manchester City and West Ham? Nick Hatton.
8 minutes to go, John. It is Manchester City 4, West Ham 0. Laura Blinkhilde-Brown with the 4th goal for City. Run down the right hand side from Mary Fowler, and Blinkhilde-Brown fired home from 8 yards out. City 4, West Ham 0.
So Coventry 0, Manchester United 1. Almost half an hour played, Clinton Morrison, and it's really been almost all Manchester United.
Yeah, you can't, you come to a semi, you can't have no regrets, John. They'll have regrets if it stays like this, because go and have a goal. As I say, they've got Casemiro at centre-half. He's still a fantastic player, but just test his pace. Test, can he run? He's defended ever so well so far, but that's his experience. But these Coventry players have to believe it. Might not get another opportunity to play at a big stage like this.
And just as you say that, Clinton, Alice Sims takes him out wide, Casemiro, but he did exceptionally well.
Yeah,
he clever. Went with him and just dispossessed him. And then Manchester United are calmly back in possession inside their own half. So Mark Robbins has got a lot to think about, a lot on his plate here. Not that he was under any illusions that this was going to be a really, really tall order for the team that is currently 8th in the Championship and has lost 3 of its last 4 games, which has seen them slip off the pace in the Championship. Manchester United with all of their injuries, but still a very strong starting lineup. Garnacho into the penalty area against Bidwell, plays it across, and it's controlled, ball at sort of waist height by Van Eyck, who's able to bring it down and clear it up towards the halfway line. But actually Wright can't get there with Harry Maguire next to him, and it is Casemiro untroubled in possession in the centre circle. I watched Thiago Silva play here yesterday and barely break sweat in central defence, and I'm sure Casemiro, if he watched that, which I suspect he might have done, will think that is the Brazilian template for what I'm going to do tomorrow.
Definitely. I think Thiago Silva, he was outstanding, to be fair. He just gets better with age. He's some player, he reads the game ever so well. So yeah, top player. And so is Casemiro, to be fair. You don't win as much as he's won in his career if you're not a top player.
So it is Manchester United in control in the sunshine here at Wembley Stadium. Ball played forward towards Scott McTominay, who's able to get the ball down and then bring it forward up the left wing. He moves past Rashford but leaves the ball for Marcus Rashford. Now Bruno Fernandes, he's found space. 25 yards out, turns, gives it back to Kobbie Mainoo. Wembley again for Kobbie Mainoo after his England caps last month. Mainoo gets it back, then gives it to Garnacho. Garnacho clips it towards the back post, and goalkeeper Collins is able to come for it after it drifted over the head of Hoyland. And you're pointing downfield, Clinton.
He's got his one-on-one. It's Haji Wright against Maguire. I even think he's quicker than Maguire as well. Harry Maguire's more experienced because he knows the position and can read it. But if you're the goalkeeper and you see your centre forward one-on-one with Harry Maguire, you get it forward quick.
As Haji Wright might have used an arm to control that long pass to him on the halfway line, but it didn't matter because Wan-Bissaka went with him, and Wan-Bissaka was able to take the ball away from the United States international. Very good signing, club record signing admittedly for Coventry City. Haji Wright, after their departures last summer, Gyökeres and Harmer left, and people thought that Coventry might struggle this season, but some very, very shrewd signings for them.
Definitely, you're right. At the start of the season, I thought they would struggle. They were struggling in the league, but they've still got an outside chance, and it is an outside chance of making it into the playoffs. But yeah, players like Haji Wright and Sims have stepped up to the mark this season.
And while the ball is out of play on the far side, what about that social media post from Nottingham Forest? That is remarkable.
And that's big remarks to make, that the VAR guy is a Luton fan. Oh wow.
And of course Nottingham Forest is the club where Mark Clattenburg is
he's obviously the referee, consultant. So watch this space.
That is a big story.
That is a big story. So do that straight after the game as well, literally.
That is going to ruffle feathers without doubt. So more on that to come. I suspect there'll be big discussions about that tomorrow night on the Monday Night Club. Excellent play from Milan van Eyck, bringing it forward, the right wing back as he is today. Now it's found its way over to the fair-haired Bidwell on the left-hand side. Pass forward for Haji Wright, but he's going to be beaten to it by Gallo, who backheels it for Casemiro. Had to be quick, and he actually has lost possession, but then it bounces off Sims on the edge of the area, and then there's a foul on Bidwell by Scott McTominay. Cheers from the Coventry fans. They haven't had too much to cheer yet, but they won't have forgotten how things went at Molineux in the quarter-final, in that topsy-turvy, unforgettable match that they had when they knocked out Wolverhampton Wanderers. So it's a free kick for Coventry City, in a very good position for Bidwell to play it in.
Yeah, Van Eyck on that right-hand side started ever so well, John. He's been their best player. Bidwell's not more like that. He's more defensive. Young De Silva, who's on the bench, is usually like that. But it's a good opportunity. I'm just disappointed because the Thorpe, who's on the bench, he's a free kick specialist, but he's obviously on the bench. So it's a big opportunity for Coventry.
Yeah. Jamie Allen's on the bench as well for Coventry, who's been out injured since the tie against Sheffield Wednesday when he fractured his cheekbone. So good to see him back for Coventry. But this free kick, Bidwell has actually been joined there as well by Van Eyck. So there is an option. Could be the right foot of Van Eyck or the left of Bidwell. The two of them either side of the ball. Three-man Manchester United wall with Garnacho lying down behind it. It is Bidwell who shoots for goal, actually, and he hits it straight at Hoyland, who's able to head it down and out of play for a throw into Coventry on the left-hand side. 32 minutes played here at Wembley Stadium under the arch. Coventry City, who've been here in recent seasons for the EFL trophy under Mark Robbins, which was the early days of the rise that was to come under their manager. The playoff finals as well, playoff finals won, playoff finals lost last season against Luton Town on penalties. So it's even though it's only a second FA Cup semi-final, it's familiar territory for the Coventry City fans as the ball bounces out of play for a throw into United halfway inside their own half. So let's go back to the WSL and Manchester City West Ham. Nick Hatton.
Manchester City 5, West Ham 0. It's Jess Park that has it, picked up the ball centre field, ran towards the edge of the box and fired home low with the plot. Man City 5, West Ham 0.
Women's football show for the highlights late on tonight. They'll be after the FA Cup highlights, which are after Match of the Day 2 on BBC One this evening, when Conor Cody will be among the guests. So it'll have highlights of all of the Premier League matches, including the Fulham-Liverpool game, which kicks off at 4:30. Long ball forward for Manchester United. Collins comes. Garnacho was there. He got his hands to it, but then had to push it out of the area because He was in danger of handballing it out of the box, but he was able to do that effectively and clear it to the halfway line.
He done well. It's a great pass from Casemiro. Great run, Garnacho. Bidwell and Kitchen can't deal with Garnacho. They're playing a free, and Man United are playing one up front. Kitchen has to, if he goes past Bidwell, Kitchen has to see Garnacho's run, and they're not dealing with him at the moment. So, but good goalkeeping there from Collins.
Yep. Kitchen, who's right behind Højlund as the throw comes to the young Dane, and then Coventry were able to see it back through Latibaudière to goalkeeper Collins. I think he's got a little bit of Harry Maguire about him, Kitching.
Yeah, he has.
The number 15, the Yorkshireman, former Leeds youngster. Here is Callum O'Hare. You can't miss him with his hair swept back. He's like Jack Grealish light, isn't he?
He just plays at 100 miles an hour, that's the only thing, but he is like Jack Grealish, like with the hair.
Yeah,
and even with the shin pads as well.
Yes, the same. Out of contract at the end of the season. Got the Irish roots as well, just like Jack Grealish.
Has he got the calves? His calves are not as big as Jack's.
No, he's got time to work on those. 25 years old. Long ball forward for Coventry, but Onana is going to allow that to roll over the dead ball line. And I think that Manchester United storm, and they really hit Coventry hard, didn't they, in that first half hour? And you could almost hear the instruction from Erik ten Hag saying, go out and get it won in that first half hour. So I suppose the big positive for Coventry is it is still just 1-0.
And they can play a lot better. I've seen them a lot this season, and they can play a lot better. Robbins was just frustrated there. Bobby Thomas just playing a straight ball. They usually build up from the back really well. They haven't done that yet. So they're panicking, they're under a bit of pressure. But as you said, John, they've got to stay in the game. If it goes 2-0, could be game over.
Yeah, 1-0 it is to Manchester United. This is 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC. Mark Robins, an FA Cup winner in that season that he scored the famous goal against Nottingham Forest for Sir Alex Ferguson, as the ball is played back by Bidwell to goalkeeper Collins. And he's said, one of the many things he said in advance of this game was, when he went on to win the FA Cup that season against Crystal Palace at Wembley as part of the Manchester United squad, he said how he remembers back then he thought that it was always going to be like that, and for him it wasn't. And he said that's one of the things he'll be saying to his team, and that sort of thing might come up at half-time if they're only 1-0 down, to say, look, this might be a last chance of this sort of thing.
That's what I'm saying, it could be your last chance. That's what I said earlier. So if your last chance, you've got to grab it with both hands and take these opportunities that you get.
Coventry with a throw on the far side. One of the white balloons bobs onto the pitch. Ball headed forward by the Coventry-born Josh Eccles, Coventry midfielder. Van Evac over the top. O'Hare, lovely touch from him, but in comes Casemiro. Again, goes to ground, but times his challenge perfectly, puts it out for a throw.
He's timed his challenges well. The reason he's getting to ground is because he does not want to get in a race with anyone, John. But at the moment, so far, so good for Casemiro.
That's what Coventry want. They want one of their quick forward players to be in that position against Casemiro. But Casemiro, so far, so good. Now, it is with the Coventry captain, Ben Sheaf. Says that he's still got ambitions of playing in the Champions League and playing for England. Started his career with Arsenal, such an important player for this Coventry team. Goes back into the Coventry half, and they return it all the way to the man, their goalkeeper, in slate grey in front of the penalty area. And the scene, honestly, I'm sure you'll see pictures, whether they're on social media. The Coventry City end is absolutely 100% sky blue. And now the ball is being brought forward by Kitching, the central defender, who couldn't find the pass to Bidwell. Dallow is able to cut it out. Now Kitching's out of position. Manchester United, if they're sharp here, could break and take advantage, although Kitching is getting back into position. And Bruno Fernandes actually slows the attack, just puts his foot on it.
He's a big weakling. When they're trying to play out, I'll be honest with you, he's a weakling. I've seen it many times when they try and play out from the back. He has to be better on the ball. They break Man United's press ever so well. All it is a simple pass to Bidwell. Has to do better. Robbins was really frustrated because he was happy with the way his team built up there. And that's what he can do. But also, his recovery was good though.
Half-time fast approaching. 6 minutes plus added time. So we'll have more at half-time for what's turned out to be a very eventful earlier match. Everton's 2-0 win against Nottingham Forest. But the injury to Beto, what Nottingham Forest have said post-match. Everton now 5 points clear of the relegation zone, so more to come from Goodison Park at half-time in this match. But Manchester United keeping possession inside their own half. Maguire I think everyone inside Wembley Stadium probably thinking the same thing. Second goal now would finish it for Manchester United, but Coventry coming forward with Sims through the middle with his beard and bushy hair, holds the ball up, gives it back behind him to Eccles, and then Eccles back to Kitching, nearer the halfway line. Kitching, then back to Latibaudiere, the former England youngster who is now a full Jamaican international, and then it's carried forward by Eccles into the penalty area, and the ball right across, and it's cleared away inside the 6-yard box by Dalot, who got the all-important touch against Sims. The two of them vying for it in the 6-yard box, and that's raised the volumes for Coventry City as the ball is flicked forward by Wright. Then Sims back to Wright, who could only head it forward to an end.
Yeah, it's good play from Eccles. He just burst past Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and put a great ball in. I think it's Dalot who defends it ever so well at the far post, because I think it's had Haji Wright or Sims is coming in at the back post to tap it in, but really good defending from Dalot.
Yeah, that's the first note I'm going to make, Clinton, really, for Coventry. Sims in with Dalot, but it was Dalot importantly. Sims wasn't far away from it.
He wasn't. He was, what was he, centimetres away. Oh, it's great defending from Dalot.
Excellent play, facing his own goal, a couple of yards out, knowing that he's got big Ellis Sims right behind him, and Dalot was able to clear it away. Dalot playing as the right back again, and Wan-Bissaka as the left back, and here is Wan-Bissaka carrying it forward down the left hand side. Still 1-0 Manchester United lead through the Scott McTominay goal in the 23rd minute. But now United again trying to find this second goal. McTominay crossfield pass, that's cleared away by Bidwell, comes out to Casemiro, and then Kobbie Mainoo forward towards Dalot. Garnacho moves infield, evades first Sheaf and then O'Hare, and then Garnacho to Bruno Fernandes, slightly left of centre. Garnacho's continued over there and now is almost over with Rashford on the left hand side. Rashford's ball in, but into the arms of goalkeeper Collins, who was able to catch it with McTominay and Hoyland either side of him almost, but he's got it securely, the Coventry City goalkeeper, with 4 minutes to go plus added time until the break. So Latibaudiere just tapping it forward, and Sheaf gives it back to Thomas. Coventry with the ball inside their own penalty area. You can feel the unease from the Coventry fans as they try to play it out from the back. And then the long pass back to Manchester United. Mainoo slips it between the legs of Sheaf, but Kitchen was able to clear. Manchester United again. This has been tough for Coventry City in this first half.
No, it has.
Make no mistake about it. Garnacho again up to the edge of the penalty area. Here's Wan-Bissaka on the left hand side, but didn't cross with his left foot, because obviously wanted it onto his right, and then Garnacho has to play it back to Harry Maguire, who will go back to Casemiro, who is standing patrolling things on his own on the halfway line. Manchester United without the injured Varane and Martinez, Cambuella as I mentioned, Evans on the injured list, and Lindelof as well. That's the list of Manchester United injured central defenders. So they've got young Louis Jackson on the bench today for the first time. Rashford on the edge of the box, but that's cleared away by Latibaudiere, who's in front of Marcus Rashford. Manchester United again. Bruno Fernandes now to Hoyland. Hoyland wriggles away from Latibaudiere, then shoots left-footed, but it was into the back of the Coventry defender Latibaudiere, and they should get it away. They do, although it is chipped to Bidwell. Coventry just can't get out at the moment.
This left-hand side, Kitchen and Bidwell. You might think I'm picking on Kitchen, but even when he's panicking and he's defending, just relax and keep the ball, because that's who Mark Robbins works on. He's trying to play out from the back and beating the press. I know they're playing against Man United, but let's be honest, John, it's not Man United that we've known for years. You've got to go and put pressure on them.
Yeah, but right now, Coventry, Mark Robbins, all of these Sky Blue fans, they just want this.
They want half-time, don't they,
They want
John?
half-time.
Yes.
That's what they want. Here's Eccles, who did set up that chance. Mark Robbins said just react, because Eccles didn't go for the pass to Van Evac. Here's Wright, though, still Coventry in possession. Bidwell back more centrally to Kitching, and then Sheaf. O'Hare's dropped quite deep, almost halfway back towards the halfway line, and Coventry then go backwards, go all the way backwards to goalkeeper Collins, who will just hoist one through the middle. Maguire's underneath that. He's happy with that, Maguire. heading it forward, but heading possession back to Coventry, and Sheaf might go for the long pass, which he does, but he overhits it through, and Onana is able to take a few steps forward and just claim that quite easily with less than 90 seconds of the first 45 minutes to go.
Yeah, I just feel De Silva probably at left wing back. Like, I know Bidwell personally, I think he's a good defender, but trying to get forward and attacking areas, I think De Silva down the left hand side would cause a lot more problems. But they've got the build-up's got to be better. They've got to get O'Hare into the game a lot more than they're getting at the moment.
That's Clinton Morrison. This is 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC. If you're on the move this afternoon, BBC Sounds. And that indeed is where you will hear the start of Fulham against Liverpool on Sports Extra. Kick-off 4:30, so it'll start on Sports Extra and finish on 5 Live. Bruno Fernandes' pass over the top. Dalot looked as though he was offside. Flag stays down as Dalot plays it back. Rashford's ready and shoots via a clip off the top of the crossbar, and a touch as well off the goalkeeper Collins, who did very well. He got a touch, and I think it did clip the top of the crossbar as well.
You're right, John. I think he tipped it onto the crossbar. It's a great save from Collins. Again, though, John, I'm talking about Coventry's left-hand side. It's too easy. That is the fullback. You've got a wing-back and a centre-half there. You have to track Dalot, but good play. Dalot's been good down this right-hand side. Great strike from Rashford, but good save from Collins.
Yeah, good save. Whether it did... Yeah,
you're right, John.
Yeah,
of course. Don't doubt yourself, John. Never.
I know I should listen to you, Clinton. And I've learned that. I don't know why I doubted it.
You doubted yourself.
Bruno Fernandes with the corner. Maguire heads it in. It's 2-0. And possibly decisively, that second Manchester United goal has come just before the break. And that's classic Maguire. From the corner, arriving. Powerful. Collins couldn't do a thing about it. And it's Coventry 0, Manchester United 2.
And that could be well game over. That right on the stroke of half-time, you want to get him 1-0. It's poor. You shouldn't be conceded from a set piece. I know Maguire's a threat, but you've got the likes of Thomas, Kitchen, Haji Wright, Ellis Sims. You have to be competing. He's their best header of the ball. He's their only header of the ball, I'd say, Harry Maguire, but it's a great header from Maguire.
It is absolute vintage. Harry Maguire scores from a set piece. In amongst, he had 3 men in sky blue around him, and he got up, and that famous slab head, as I think it was Jamie Vardy, wasn't it, who described it that way. Couldn't be better. It was perfection.
It's a great header. If you're going to give Harry Maguire that much time and space from 6 yards out, and it's a good ball in, and he don't have to generate any pace, it's going to one way, and that's in the bottom corner. And
this is Harry Maguire, who should be added. Mentioned it earlier in the afternoon, but Eric Ten Hag said he's barely been able to train this week, or certainly for most of the week. Wasn't able to train, and there he is. And that is what Coventry, that is what Mark Robbins, that is what all of these Sky Blue fans, that is what they did not want. The second goal, which came round about, I think it was in the first minute of added time at the end of the first half. And from here, Coventry City, if you get through to the final against Manchester City, they'll have done exceptionally well.
It would be some second half if they can pull this off, John, but at the moment the way I've seen it,
Molyneux times
yes
10.
It will be. So that's what they have to believe and hope that they're good, but they have to step on. Man United have been clinical, been absolutely first class in this first half, but Coventry have let them been like that.
Right, lots to wrap up and go around and talk about at half-time, but at the break here at Wembley Stadium, Manchester United now in full control. Coventry City 0, Manchester United 2. And Katie Smith is here with us in the commentary box. The commentary box? We're in the commentary half of the stadium.
It could be a commentary box.
The commentary box.
Right, we've had some breaking news during that first half of this semi-final, coming courtesy of a truly remarkable statement on X from Nottingham Forest. So I'll be getting both your thoughts on that in a moment. But Clinton, if we just look at that first half, then for me, a real sort of quiet purpose to what Manchester United were doing. There was so many doubters coming in, there was talk of the injuries, and actually it looked like they very much did the talking on the pitch.
Yeah, they knew it was going to be difficult. A lot of people saying Casemiro playing centre half. I do think Coventry have played into their hands by sitting back and enabling Man United to dominate possession, but Man United have still got good players, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Dalot. They've been outstanding in this first half, so Coventry will be disappointed, but I do think Man United have got one foot in that final.
We talked about leaders on the pitch as well. It felt like the likes of Scott McTominay Harry Maguire, the 2 goal scorers, they're exactly the kind of figures that you want to be stepping up in those moments in that first half.
Yeah, definitely. Scott McTominay knows the DNA of this football club, and Harry Maguire used to be the captain here, so they're leaders anyway in their own right. And as I said, Harry Maguire gets a lot of criticism, but he does show up in 9 times out of 10. He hasn't hardly trained at all this week. He was a major doubt, and he's out there, and he's just managed to score a fantastic header just before half time. So as I said, them 2 players have always been leaders for me at Man United.
Coventry City toppled a Premier League side in the quarterfinals in most dramatic fashion, but surely, this would top it. If Mark Robbins can go and chat to his guys now, that second 45 minutes, if they can get a goal early on, is that game on? Yeah, it's game on. If they can score the next goal in this game, it's definitely game on. They always say 2-0 is like a precarious scoreline, but yeah, so if they can get the next goal, it will give this whole place a lift, because the Coventry fans, they're the only fans you can really hear. Man United fans you can hear when they went 2-0 up, but it's the Coventry fans that have been singing. So if they can get one just after half time, it will be game on. So Manchester United leading 2-0 at half time. Back to the Premier League, another goal at Villa Park.
And Aston Villa lead for the first time this afternoon, 12 minutes into the second half. A wonderful counter-attack down the left-hand side. Ollie Watkins involved, because of course he is. Puts the ball on a plate for Moussa Diaby, and from 7 yards out, he slides it past the goalkeeper. Aston Villa 2, Bournemouth 1.
Charlie, thank you. Now, during that first half commentary, we brought you the news, John Murray reading it out midway through, of an extraordinary statement we've had in from Nottingham Forest following their 2-0 defeat at Everton in the Premier League. It was posted on their official X account, and it reads, I quote, 3 extremely poor decisions, 3 penalties not given, which we simply cannot accept. We warned the PGMOL that the VAR is a Luton fan before the game, but they didn't change him. Our patience has been tested multiple times. Nottingham Forest Football Club will now consider its options. Our football correspondent John Murray alongside me in the commentary box here at Wembley. Scathing. It's huge, a huge accusation there, John. Yeah,
and as we said when I first read it out, the significance here is that, as we know, Mark Clattenburg, once considered to be, I think it would be fair to say, the best referee that we had in this country, has now got a role with Nottingham Forest. So you would think that he would be very much involved in this. So Nottingham Forest, I'm sure, with that statement, must be very confident of what they're saying. They would have to be to say what they've said. But I still think it's a remarkable thing to say. And the Football Association, I think Howard Webb at the PGMOL, this will certainly ruffle feathers from them, and their reaction, what they have to say about this is obviously going to be the next step in this.
And we are waiting to hear from them, so as soon as we do, we will bring you that. Clinton Morrison listening to that as well. It's just so striking. I was reading on the X comments below the statement, just so many fans saying, is this real? Is this the actual official account? But you look at the season as a whole, and it probably started with that Liverpool game, didn't it, with the Luis Diaz wrongly disallowed goal. But now clubs are making these statements, and they are challenging the officials. No, they are, to be fair, and you're spot on. Listen, I think John made a great point. Unless they've got concrete evidence, why? Because Mark Clattenburg, one of the best referees, working with them. So I don't understand how they've come out and said the person who's in VAR is a Luton fan. That is so surprising. I know you've just lost a game, and I understand that, and there's probably some big decisions, but surely you don't come out straight after unless you've got concrete evidence and that's true to come make a big statement like that. We're all frustrated at times this season with VAR, and you lose a football match, but that is a huge, huge statement to say the guy who's in VAR is a massive Luton fan. I'm so surprised. And when you've got someone, as John said, Clattenburg standards doing that, surely he'd be advising the people who's working on their social media team not to put that out if it's not true.
Also, having had dealings over the years with some of these people who are the best officials that we have in this country, and this is a separate argument to how competent they are. What I would say is that one of the foundation stones of being a referee, being an official at the top level, is your impartiality, and that is something that I think possibly people don't appreciate, that when you do that, when you choose to follow that role as the job that you do, that is number one, with number two a long way down the track of what is most important for you. And let me tell you that in my experience, they do understand and appreciate that.
That's a big statement. Heads will roll. You can't make a statement like that unless you've got evidence to back it up. Heads will roll. There's a lot, as you said earlier, a lot of teams have been frustrated, but you haven't seen teams literally come after the game 15 minutes and make big statements like that.
Well, as the table stands, Nottingham Forest just a point above Luton Town still after losing to Everton. Let's hear from their boss, Nuno Espirito Santo.
Okay, so the club have released a statement on social media saying that they made the PGMOL aware that they believed that the VAR was a Luton fan. Can you shed some light on this whole situation for us, first of all?
No, I can explain my position. I was aware of that complaint. It's a formal complaint. Every club is entitled to do it if they feel that they are not comfortable. The PGMOL decide the other way. If Stuart Atwell is not a fan of Luton, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter in the end of the day. That doesn't matter. He's there to do his job. In starting with Anthony Taylor today, he did a bad job. And VAR did a bad job because the decisions are bad. I'm telling you, after we lose a game, everybody will say, okay, look at the manager, look, he's getting excuses. No, it's not an excuse, it's the reality. Is the reality. We don't know what can happen with that decision, but they are bad decisions, are penalties, and VAR should help the referee. I saw it.
I mean, the club says that it will consider its options now. I just wonder, are you
Sorry?
The club said in the statement that it will consider its options now going forwards. I just wonder, are you happy with this playing out on social media, with this playing out in public? Because I wonder how you feel as the manager coming down having to answer questions about it.
Yeah, so look, I rather speak about other things. I rather speak about the need that we have in these 4 games. I rather speak about the performance and the standards of the players. But this is been going on so long. Since I arrived, I have this feeling growing and growing. So we must understand the reaction of the club. We must understand, because we owe this to our fans. 1,000 people or more, 2,000-3,000 people, thousands of people travel. They are in City Ground. They need to be respected. The referees must know and assess that they are being bad decisions against us. Decisions that are costing us points, not only penalties. Just remember the final minutes, 30 seconds to go on the game against Liverpool. You know what I mean? So you must understand that we react like that.
But I just want to clarify, finally, You're talking about bad decisions.
Poor decisions.
But are you saying these are just bad decisions? You're not intimating there's something untoward going on here?
Look, if we were another country, we will start speaking about conspiracy. You know what I mean?
So you think we should be talking about conspiracy now?
No, I don't. I'm not talking about that. But why always this? And then comes the answer from the panel that they have 1 week after, saying, no, you were right. You were entitled to a penalty, blah, blah, blah. But what's the point? It seems like they are playing with us.
Nuno Espirito Santo there, following that explosive statement on X. John Murray just trying to unpick there what he was actually saying then.
Well, I think from Nuno, he's making the point about the decisions that Nottingham Forest have received over the course of the season and, of course, of the time that he's been there. But if I heard it correctly, his first answer, when Rob asked him about the statement which refers to the VAR official being a Luton fan, Nuno says it doesn't matter if he's a fan. To me, that sounds like the manager of the football club backing away from what the statement said on Nottingham Forest's official media, which again I think is rather confusing for people who will hear that, because to me, from what's being said, that is the most damning part of the accusation that Nottingham Forest have put out.
I think Rob's question was right as well, Clinton, to him about, do you want this playing out on social media when you already have this sort of circus around? Forest, Everton have had it too. They've got their hearing this week, haven't they, on Wednesday for their points deduction. They're appealing against it. They've lost today, and now we're just talking about all this stuff off the pitch again.
Yeah, it's disappointing. You know what I take from Nuno? he didn't really want to get involved in that. What he wants to concentrate is the 4 games they've got coming up. That's something from probably the hierarchy that I've dealt with that are frustrated. That I've watched a couple of the penalty decisions, and they should have had a penalty.
Well, I was going to say we should make that clear, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
That for a lot of people, that is the point.
Yeah, that is the point. Most definitely, the decisions that I've seen, and I've seen a few of the replays, they should have had penalties. So they are frustrated at the end of the game, but they can go about it, I think, in a different way. Just like let it settle down a bit, and then write a letter to the PGMOL, not just pull it on X, where everyone's going to have their opinion and everyone's going to slag off the PGMOL. It's not really right in my eyes. Maybe they could have handled it a different way. I know the club are frustrated and in a relegation battle, and I think the whole world's against them at the moment, but yeah, it doesn't look good at the moment. But credit Nuno, because he wasn't complaining too much. He was concentrating on the last 4 games.
Well, we'll of course keep you updated if there are any new updates on this. We have been told by the Football Association that they are aware of the post and they're investigating. We've also been in touch with the Premier League Match Centre and the PGMOL for responses to this statement from Nottingham Forest today. They're yet to get back to us, so as I said, we'll keep you updated. And just to let you know as well, we finished that match at Goodison Park with a horrible head injury to Beto. He was knocked unconscious after a clash of heads with Morgan Gibbs-White late on in that match in injury time. He has been taken to hospital, we know, but according to his boss Sean Dyche, he is up and talking. So again, we'll keep you updated if there is anything to tell you more on that. Right, let's head to Selhurst Park. Another goal, Paul Scott.
65 minutes on the clock. It is Crystal Palace 5, West Ham 1, and Jean-Philippe Mateta is on a hat-trick. Well set up by Eza. Mateta with a low finish into the bottom corner. Palace 5, West Ham 1.
And breathe. Let's get the latest news here on 5 Live with Stuart Clarkson.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you, Katie. And in the past hour, the MP Mark Menzies has announced he has resigned from the Conservative Party and won't stand at the next election. Mr Menzies, who represents Fylde in Lancashire, has been accused of misusing Tory funds and abusing his position after allegedly asking an activist for money to pay off what he called bad people. He disputes those allegations. In a statement, he says it's been a difficult week. Number 10 says Rishi Sunak was appalled by the way police treated a Jewish man during a pro-Palestinian march in London. An officer threatened Gideon Falter with arrest and ordered him to move away from the demonstration last weekend, telling him that he could prompt reaction because he was quite openly Jewish. The Metropolitan Police has apologised twice, retracting its initial statement after being accused of victim blaming. Russia says a decision by the US House of Representatives to approve an aid package for Ukraine shows that Washington is wading deeper into a war that Russia says will end in humiliation. The US says the first deliveries of hardware and supplies could be in Ukraine within a week. And the Energy Security Secretary, Claire Coutinho, has insisted the government is taking the right approach to tackling climate change after it was criticised by one of its own advisers. Chris Stark, the outgoing chair of the Independent Climate Change Commission, said Rishi Sunak had set the UK back on reducing carbon emissions.
This is 5 Live Sport. Listen on BBC Sounds.
You're listening to 5 Live Sports. We are almost at the second half now of the second semi-final in the Men's FA Cup. Manchester United leading Coventry City 2-0. But a reminder, there is so much going on today. We do have Fulham against Liverpool in the Premier League kicking off just now. That has just got underway. You can listen over on 5 Sports Extra uninterrupted to that match. We'll be joining for second half commentary after the conclusion here at Wembley. So let's go back to our commentary team, Clinton Morrison and our correspondent John Murray.
Yes, thank you, Katie. So that is your choice, the FA Cup semi-final here on 5 Live and the Premier League title race on Sports Extra. But there is the whistle from Robert Jones, and it is Coventry City who kick off the second half with the proverbial mountain to climb. 2-0 down against Manchester United. In the second half, both teams attacking towards the ends where their own supporters are. I imagine that spirits are flagging a little in the Coventry section after that Harry Maguire headed goal to make it 2-0. But as Clinton Morrison's said, the way that Coventry have to approach this is to think, well, one goal and in theory we're back into it. But the overwhelming feeling is now that Manchester United will be on their way to set up another meeting at the final with Manchester City, just like last season's FA Cup final here at Wembley. So Coventry, no changes at the break. Collins, the goalkeeper, And then the three central defenders, Thomas, Latibaudiere and Kitching, with Van Evac, the right wing back, Bidwell on the left-hand side, Sheaf and Eccles in the middle, then Callum O'Hare with Sims and Wright, the two forward players, and Manchester United with Onana in goal. He's got the ball now, just passing the ball out to Kobbie Mainoo. The back four, Dalot, Casemiro, Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. So Casemiro in central defence, if you haven't heard that already this afternoon. Mainoo and McTominay in midfield with Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left and Højlund through the middle. And the goal scorers, McTominay and Maguire, the two players who were thought to be on the move possibly to West Ham last summer, are the men who scored the goals in this FA Cup semi-final, which might see them get through back here to Wembley next month. McTominay now in possession, playing the ball out towards the right-hand side. Manchester United, red shirts, black shorts, black socks. Coventry in the sky blue and white stripes. And here is Rashford with some space up against the Latibaudiere into the penalty area on his right foot, still going, but it just ran away from him at the crucial moment. Manchester United come again though. Bruno Fernandes with a curler, not far wide of the top corner. Clinton Morrison.
I thought that was in. Where we are sat here in the commentary box, it is the way he just bent it, but it's kind of the instep, and I thought it's going into the top corner. Really unlucky. Great bit of technique there from Bruno Fernandes, but Coventry need to step on. I think they're playing the five at the back. I'll sacrifice the centre half and put on another attacking player, because John, what have you got to lose at this stage?
Yep, what have you got to lose? As O'Hare is leaned into by Mainoo, that is well, either that's a free kick or Sims fouled by Maguire as a free kick. It was the first one for Mainoo on O'Hare. Still, actually in both sections, many empty red seats. Manchester United supporters may be thinking 2-0, we're on the way back to the final. Coventry City fans thinking 2-0, we're not going to come back from this, but let us see what happens. Too early to write it off yet. O'Hare, then up towards Ellis Sims. Now back to Sheaf. Gives it to the left-hand side to Bidwell, then comes back to Sheaf. Eccles comes short in midfield, but Sheaf is going to play it behind Højlund into the path here of Thomas, who brings it forward. Bobby Thomas, the right-sided central defender, Van Evac. Then Latibaudiere joins the attack, and Maguire is there to block it out for a throw on the right-hand side, promising from Coventry.
Yeah, Latibaudiere, he's changed. He was playing as the middle one. He's now played to the on the right-hand side, and I think they're trying to get him forward more.
Latibaudiere, who was part of Steve Cooper's England under-17 World Cup winning squad when Phil Foden was one of his teammates, indeed as he was at Manchester City when he came through. But Manchester United are able to win the ball back and bring it downfield, and Højlund gives it to Rashford, and Sky Blue now racing back into position. Rashford is forced to turn by Sheaf, who is all over the back of him and fouls Rashford, takes his legs away, and it's a free kick to Manchester United, who've relieved whatever pressure Coventry had at the other end.
It was good play, John. They were in their own half, and the 1 and 2 touches, the way they got out of that tight space and then broke was brilliant. And I think Rashford's been lively on that left-hand side this afternoon.
Yeah, Rashford playing here at Wembley, as very often over the years we've seen him play for England. And it is a free kick that Bruno Fernandes will be waiting to take. Just backs away 3 or 4 yards. 3-man Coventry wall. Rashford just standing to the right of where Bruno Fernandes is. He could lay it square for Rashford here, or Bruno Fernandes could deliver it into the penalty area. Højlund is pointing at his own chest. Latibaudiere is waving his arms there for Coventry. Bruno Fernandes does play it square to Rashford. Right foot shot is blocked inside the penalty area. There were lots of bodies in there. And then Sims, as he heads it away, was blocked by Mainoo, and that's a free kick to Coventry on the edge of their own box.
Yeah, they worked that well. I thought Bruno was going to whip it into the far post, but it's a good block, a really good block, because Rashford did get some power behind that shot.
So 2-0 Manchester United lead. Long pass forward for Van Evac, but he's not going to reach that. It's over the top of his head and out for a throw-in to Manchester United. So it does look very much like it'll be City against United again. And if it is, what will be significant, there's no kickoff time set yet for the FA Cup final on the 25th of May, a Saturday afternoon. And rather like last year, when I think it was finally a 3 o'clock kickoff, you would think that it would have to be something like that to give everyone a fair chance of getting to and away if you've got 2 sets of supporters. coming from Manchester. Here's Dalot on the right-hand side. Dalot has been able to get away from Kitching, and now it comes to Bruno Fernandes, whose cross is headed away by Latibaudière. Comes out to Manchester United again though, and Menu will pick out the pass to Dalot, who controls it in his orange boots over there on the right wing, and back they go towards the halfway line. So it's back to Hampden, where Rangers were 1-0 up, Ailey Barber.
And they are now 2-0 ahead, John. It looks very much like we will have an old firm Scottish Cup final. Cyril Dessers with a second of the afternoon at the second attempt to get it past Craig Gordon has most certainly given Rangers a real lift this afternoon. It's been a scrappy affair, but it's Rangers who now lead against Hearts by 2-0.
And let's see how things have started at Craven Cottage. Fulham against Liverpool. Sohail Sahi.
10 minutes played here, John. Fulham 0, Liverpool 0. A quick start from the visitors. They had a chance after 3 minutes. It was a cross from the right hand side from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Diaz with a header, 7 yards out, just wide. Fulham 0, Liverpool 0.
And you'll be able to hear Alistair Bruce-Ball and Mark Schwarzer on Sports Extra with the commentary. Here's O'Hare for Coventry. Then the shot from Sheaf, but he rather snatched at it, Clinton, on the edge of the D. There were players as well in his path. It lacked conviction and it bounced wide by 5 yards.
Yeah, it's frustrating. O'Hare wants to go and play in the Premier League. These are the games where he has to stand out, because he's obviously turned down a new contract, so that means for me he's not staying at Coventry, so he's probably got Premier League clubs watching him. But this is the day where you stand out. But you're right, John, it falls to Ben Sheaf, and it's a poor finish from Ben Sheaf.
I can tell you that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who's run the London Marathon today, Clinton, as Onana is delaying taking this goal kick, so the Coventry City fans, that's what you can hear, they're getting frustrated with him, and he's still delaying, and Robert Jones is telling him to get on with it, and still he hasn't taken it, but he does now. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has completed the London Marathon, and he's now here at Wembley Stadium.
Fair play.
Completed the London Marathon at the age of 71.
71 he completed.
4 hours 30. It's not bad, is it?
That's very good. That is fitness. No, I don't know if I could do it at my age now at 4 hours. So fair play to him.
That's what an achievement that is. To Villa Park, Charlie Slater.
78 minutes on the clock. Aston Villa 3, Bournemouth 1. More lovely play on the counter-attack. Diaby finds Watkins. Watkins goes round the keeper and turns it goalwards. It might cross the line on its own, but Leon Bailey takes no chances. Smashes it in. 3-1 Villa.
Very good performance that from Aston Villa after being 1-0 down following the events on Thursday night in France. Garnacho racing forward with Kitching.
Absolutely no chance I'm kicking the ball like he goes down too often, him. No chance. Garnacho. It just does shoulder to shoulder, yeah. He'll get up in a minute, John, for sure.
Not giving us a free kick. He's getting to his feet now. He's on his knees. Coventry on the attack. Eccles playing it square. Here is Kitching. Kitching rolls the pass to the left-hand side. Latibaudière is there. Here's the cross into the Manchester United penalty area. Wan-Bissaka was at the back post with Van Avaak. Too many Wans and Vans.
It was too many Wans and Vans, but it was good defending from Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, Wan got there before Van.
Yes, that's right.
And deflected it wide for a Coventry corner from the right-hand side. So Coventry with a corner. 2-0 Manchester United lead. Bidwell to take this. Bidwell with his left foot. Up he comes, little steps. Delivery to the back post. Headed away by Maguire in the same penalty area where he nodded in at the end of the first half. Coventry, though, still coming forward. Wan-Bissaka heads away on the edge of the area. Latibaudière's missed it, and now Bruno Fernandes will carry it forward in the centre circle. Couldn't find the pass to send Garnacho on his way, and Coventry City have got it back inside their own half.
That's unusual for Bruno Fernandes. He's probably the one player you did want in that position on the pitch who can pick that pass to Garnacho, and he would have been in.
Yep, scored in his last 3 matches. Bruno Fernandes got both the goals last weekend against Bournemouth, but Manchester United have been on top really in this match since the very start. The attitude has been absolutely right against the Championship side, but they're beginning to ask questions. Van Avaak, his cross into the penalty area. Maguire stoops forward and heads that away, and Manchester United have it with McTominay on the edge of their own penalty area. Casemiro drives his right foot through it, but just delivers possession back to Coventry City, and there's a little bit of encouragement here for Coventry. So 2-0 Manchester United lead in this semi-final. Rangers leading 2-0 at Hampden in the second of the Scottish Cup semi-final. Still Fulham 0, Liverpool 0. That's on Sports Extra. In the rugby, by the way, France 26-0 up on Wales in the Women's Six Nations. And in the Premiership, Bristol 61, Newcastle 14 and Sale 32, Harlequins 24, the latest scores. Manchester United winning the ball back as this latest Coventry attack breaks down. Wan-Bissaka, here's Rashford on the left-hand side. Rashford running at Latibaudiere, but then overrunning it, and it's cleared away by Bobby Thomas. And now that's good work from Sheaf, but then Casemiro just walks into it on the halfway line and clatters it away out of play with his right foot.
Yeah, I think it's a foul. Robert Jones just can't keep up with play there. I think Sheaf does well when it's a foul back McTominay. But as you said, Casemiro's defended well, John. I think he's seen all the danger. I think Coventry have made it easy for him. But what he's had to do today, Casemiro, he's done it really well.
That is Coventry with the ball in front of their own penalty area. Here's Bidwell, actually, he allows it to run to Hadji Wright and Callum O'Hare. I think the feeling will be that Coventry City, as they would miss Casey Palmer, but really whether he would have had any more opportunities than Callum O'Hare has had in the match.
It's been difficult, it has, for Coventry, especially second half they've been better, but first half they couldn't get into the game at all. Yeah,
slightly odd situation, if you've not picked up on this, that Casey Palmer was suspended for this match, having collected a second yellow card in the FA Cup in the quarter-final, as the ball is played through towards Sims. Sims controls that nicely. Here's Van Evac into the penalty area, right-footed ball all the way across to Wright, who chests it down. He had to jump to do that, then moves infield, plays it back centrally. Eccles is there, they're warning him that Bruno Fernandes is coming. A short pass to Hadji Wright, then Latibaudiere gets it under control, and out goes the ball to Bidwell, who's struggling to keep this in play, and in fact as he did so gave it away, and Garnacho receives it, and Garnacho, it's now 3 against 4. Here's Bruno Fernandes joining the Manchester United attack. Bruno Fernandes to Rashford. Rashford's got some space. This is dangerous for Coventry. Latibaudiere is able to put in the challenge, still in the box. Bruno Fernandes shoots and scores. Goalkeeper Collins couldn't keep it out. He's furious with himself. Coventry left too many gaps at the back. Manchester United have taken full advantage, and now we can look forward to another all-Manchester FA Cup final, because it's Coventry 0, Manchester United 3.
Yeah, poor from Coventry, brilliant from Man United the break, but Bidwell, it's a poor pass out to Bidwell, and his control's poor, doesn't keep it in. They just don't look like they know what they're doing in the final third. And Latibaudiere, he's defended the ball, John. You've got to clear your lines, trying to dribble out, but credit Bruno Fernandes. I don't know if it takes a slight deflection, and that's what beats Collins on the near post, but I think he's won the ball, Latibaudiere. He's got to clear the ball, doesn't clear the ball, and yeah, I think it takes a slight deflection and wrong foot's Collins, but poor defending again from Coventry.
Yeah, there was a defender, I think it was Thomas, wasn't it? Bobby Thomas, who was in between Bruno Fernandes's shot, and it went through his legs, but flicked his thigh, the underside of his thigh, or his calf. It was his calf, just saying that now. That wrong foot at the goalkeeper, and it was in at his near post. 3-0, that's it.
It is it, and too little too late. They're going to make changes, but too little too late in my eyes. I think I would have made changes at half-time. I don't think in the first half Coventry were nowhere near good enough.
Half an hour left, and the Manchester United fans now can sing their songs inside Wembley Stadium and prepare to take on Pep Guardiola and his team next month, because Coventry City, surely this is now an impossible task, you would think, but they are trying to achieve the impossible with Van Evac against Wan-Bissaka. The cross comes off the Manchester United man and bounces behind, and it is a Coventry City corner. It is still Fulham 0, Liverpool 0. That match is on Sports Extra, and it is still Aston Villa 3, Bournemouth 1, and Crystal Palace 5, West Ham 1. Corner for Bidwell. The only positive for West Ham in that match is that it's not got any worse. Bidwell to take this corner for Coventry. Left-footed, deep towards the back post, headed away by Maguire, and then the shot from Sheaf came at him quickly. He snaps at it, and it's high over the top of the crossbar and behind for a goal kick to Eric Ten Hag's side. Well, we know what the story would have been, Clinton, if this had not gone Manchester United's way. Eric Ten Hag's position would have come under severe scrutiny, as they say.
Yeah, it will do. I think even if they get to the final and lose it, it'll come under big scrutiny. But you're right. I probably think if he had lost this game, he should have been packing his bags and really been making his way back home. But no, you know what? Fair play to Man United. They've been really professional in what they've done this afternoon so far.
And listen, whether Manchester United even go on and win the FA Cup against Manchester City here next month, whether that will be enough to consider the Manchester United powers that be, Sir Jim Ratcliffe now here watching in the stands, that Eric Ten Hag is going to be the man that they want to be the manager next season. Well, that's highly debatable, but that's for the future. Coventry 0, Manchester United 3 is the score here at Wembley Stadium, and let's see how those other 3 o'clock games in the Premier League are progressing. Aston Villa, Bournemouth first. Charlie Slater.
87 minutes gone here. Villa 3, Bournemouth 1. Bournemouth thought they had one back. Antoine Semenyo with a low shot, spilled by Emi Martinez to Enes Ünal straight off the bench. First touch, put it in the back of the net. Linesman's flag went up. He was offside. It's still 3-1.
Garnacho inside the penalty area, then it falls to Maguire on the stretch. He could only shoot wide. That followed the Bruno Fernandes free kick. And Coventry now going to make changes. Mark Robbins is going to make a triple change, actually. So while he does that, let's get an update from Selhurst Park from Paul Scott.
5 minutes to go. It's still Crystal Palace 5, West Ham 1. As you say, the good news for West Ham is that it hasn't got worse really in this second half. Jean-Philippe Mateta grabbing his second to make it 5-1. Crystal Palace heading for back-to-back league wins for the first time this season, and in some style. Palace 5, West Ham 1.
Thank you, Paul. So a triple change. 2 of the defenders coming off, Latibaudiere and Kitching, and Eccles coming off from the midfield. So Lewis Binks is coming on into the defence, the number 2, and also Victor Torp into the midfield, the Dane, and Fabio Tavares as well, the Portuguese who scored a couple of the goals against Maidstone for Coventry in the 5th round. So a triple change. And I think that is Mark Robbins effectively saying that the time has come just to give those players the opportunity to be involved in a match like this.
Yeah, definitely. And they've got a lot of big football matches left in the EFL Championship as well. So, yeah, I think it's the right call.
So 3-0 Manchester United lead. Going to Craven Cottage in a moment. Still 0-0 there between Fulham and Liverpool. But Callum O'Hare just using the option to his right of the newly arrived Tavares, the number 30. Now Van Eyck again. O'Hare wanted the ball delivered into the penalty area. Sheaf then goes back to the centre circle. It's not unlike actually the match in the FA Cup semi-final last season when Manchester City won 3-0 against Sheffield United, which was the last time that there was a championship side in the last 4 of the great competition. Tavares crossing from the right, and I think that flicked off Wan-Bissaka. It did, says referee John, so it's another Coventry corner from the right flank. We'll go to Craven Cottage, but we'll see what happens with this Coventry corner first of all. Manchester United now cruising after that 3rd goal. Bruno Fernandes scoring for a 4th consecutive match, thanks to the deflection of Bobby Thomas. But Bidwell to take this corner for Coventry. Left-footed towards the back post. Maguire's underneath that to head it away for United. Garnacho lost it though. Then the shot comes in from the edge of the penalty area from the newly arrived Victor Torp, but that was blocked, and Manchester United breakaway downfield. Garnacho chips it across the 6-yard box and beyond the far post, and it's a goal kick for Coventry City, with Anthony now coming on, which will be Eric Ten Hag's first change. So while Manchester United make that substitution, it's the Sohail Sahi again in West London.
23 minutes played here, John. Fulham 0, Liverpool 0. Another chance goes by for Liverpool. Diaz this time surging into the penalty box, hit the dead ball line, pulled it back for Jota, and it bobbled away off his knobbly knees and just wide. Fulham 0, Liverpool 0.
Thank you, Sohail. So the commentary on Fulham 0, Liverpool 0 continues on Sports Extra. Liverpool have to win that really to go level on points with Arsenal, the new leaders after their victory at Molineux last night. So Sports Extra on your digital radio and BBC Sounds to follow that. So that's it for Garnacho, Clinton Morrison. And
he's not happy, is he? He's not a happy boy, the same way he weren't happy when he got took off against Bournemouth. But I don't think any player wants to come off, especially on these big occasions.
However, he is unquestionably Erik ten Hag's man, isn't he?
Oh,
this is his 31st consecutive start.
And he's a talented individual.
Collins had to clear that, the goalkeeper who was on the stretch, he did. Then Sheaf played it downfield, but Tavares can't reach that. And it's out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United. Anthony was another one of the injury worries for this.
Yeah,
so
it's good he can come through, and it's his chance, isn't it? To go and express himself.
How many times have I said that to you, Clinton, in recent times? Chance for Anthony.
Chance for Anthony. When we were doing it last time, I think it was the Liverpool game, he came on and had an effect, but it's just not happened for him at this club so far.
2 goals in the FA Cup this season, including in the famous win against Liverpool in the quarter-final. That could have been very, very different for Manchester United, but they came through that test, and now they're bang on course for the final itself. Manchester United, the 12 times winners of the competition. Only Arsenal have won it more. Here is Torp on the right-hand side. The tall Torp plays it into O'Hare inside the box. O'Hare takes it back out into the Manchester United left-back position. Van Evac. Coventry with more of the ball around the Manchester United penalty area, but they're not threatening to hurt United. And Torp again has it with Wan-Bissaka, who just trots after him, and it's back to Van Evac, and then further back towards the halfway line, where Sheaf will turn and stab it forward to Tavares, and Tavares now looking for Van Evac on the right. There are lots of sky blue shirts in the box, and O'Hare with the header. Well, he heads it over the top of the crossbar, and as he did so, he flung himself head first, rather in the style of Keith Houchin back in 1987.
All them years ago.
That was remarkably similar.
It was similar. It's a hard opportunity. It's a good ball into the box, and it's a difficult header going over the bar, but it's better from Coventry in the second half.
Great to see a Coventry City diving header in the FA Cup at Wembley, but not the outcome that they wanted. It remains Coventry 0, Manchester United 3, and it's back to Selhurst Park and Paul Scott.
Into the 90th minute, another goal for West Ham. It's Crystal Palace 5, West Ham 2. A Tyreek Mitchell own goal, but it was a mistake by Dean Henderson. A tame back pass from 25 yards, bobbled under his boot and into the empty net. It's Crystal Palace 5, West Ham 2.
Well, there's another interview to listen out for on 5 Live a little later on, when David Moyes talks about that and Crystal Palace's early goals in that match. They had the game won virtually by midway through the first half. Still Fulham 0, Liverpool 0 at Craven Cottage. That's on Sports Extra. And I think Rangers, Ailey Barber with you, are through to another Scottish Cup final.
Time this season, the League Cup winners with the chance to add the Scottish Cup as well this season after Cyril Dessers struck in each half. A pretty scrappy affair really. Rangers had the better of it. Jack Butland pulled off a couple of big saves, but Hearts lacked that cutting edge. So it will be a first Old Firm final in the Scottish Cup for 22 years. It finished at Hampden Park. Rangers 2, Hearts 0.
So it's going to be an all Glasgow Scottish Cup final. It's going to be an all Manchester FA Cup final. 3-0 Erik ten Hag's side lead. Van Evac falls over but still manages to find the pass to Tavares. Van Evac with a cross. O'Hare inside the penalty area. O'Hare is leaned into by Harry Maguire. The Coventry fans think that Robert Jones has pointed to the spot. He hasn't. He's pointed to a goal kick.
Absolutely no chance. Strong, brilliant defending from Harry Maguire. O'Hare was never going to get around Harry Maguire. There's absolutely no chance. Great defending.
So 3-0. McTominay and Maguire's goals in the first half. Bruno Fernandes in the second. And now Christian Eriksen is going to get a run out in the semi-final. I thought in this position Erik ten Hag might have used some of the youngsters, some of the many teenagers on the bench for United today, but Christian Eriksen's had little or no football in recent times, so he's going to get a run out. Might be important in the latter stages of this season for Manchester United, as O'Hare does well, takes the ball down for Coventry. Tavares with a cross. Sims with a chance to score, which he does, and Coventry are on the score sheet in the semi-final here at Wembley. 3-1, almost certainly too late, but the Coventry City fans are on their feet and they've got something to cheer about. Coventry City 1, Manchester United 3 now.
Yeah, Man United don't do it, and Tavares just whips the ball into the area. I must say, it's a brilliant finish from Sims, John. It's on the half volley, it's great technique, and fair play. These Coventry fans deserve to see a goal here. They've supported their team all this afternoon, so at least they go home something to cheer about. But really good goal, good finish from Sims.
Excellent. It was just a little behind him, wasn't it? And he just had to readjust there as it bounced up to what, about knee height, and swept it in with his right foot from 10 yards at the near post. Onana diving down to his left. It beat him quite comfortably. Actually caught it just below the knee, Clinton.
Oh, okay, so maybe they all count, John. They all count.
Had a few of those?
Yes, I had a few. Most of those in my career.
Don't wish to be unkind. Christian Eriksen.
They all count, don't they, John?
They do. If it ends up in the back of the net, as I'm sure you were very keen to point out on the occasions this happened. So Eriksen is on for Kobbie Mainoo, and I have to say I'm so pleased for the Coventry fans. I was here, having been at the match yesterday, so I was at Wembley this morning first thing. When I opened the curtains, all I could see was sky blue, and that was breakfast time.
Crazy.
And I know the Coventry City fans, the Coventry team, were staying in one of the big hotels near here. They were on the balcony and giving all of their supporters an ovation down in the street below. And now Coventry are going all harem-scarum here. This Coventry team are going to give this a go, so that means the gaps are there for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes coming forward, but Collins, the goalkeeper, is out of the penalty area to clear it out of play on the halfway line. This could be fun.
It could be fun. 18 minutes plus added on time, so this could be fun, especially if Coventry get another one in 5 minutes.
So 3-1 to Manchester United in the FA Cup semi-final. It's going to be Rangers Celtic in the Scottish Cup final. Big wins for Palace, win for Aston Villa, win for Everton earlier, important win for Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship, so they're out of the bottom 3. And what's the news on Fulham-Liverpool? Sohail Sahi.
We're about to have a free kick here at Craven Cottage, John. It's still Fulham 0, Liverpool 0. 31 minutes played. It's a free kick for Liverpool, just left of the D, 25 yards away. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Harvey Elliott are in discussion over the ball. The referee, Craig Pawson, he's making sure the wall is back 10 yards. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold will be the favourite to take this free kick. You can come back to me if you like, John. They're taking their time over this set piece. OK, will do. Commentary is on Sports Extra with Alistair Bruce Ball and Mark Schwarzer. He has Anthony into the action almost for the first time for Manchester United. Again, Coventry committing men downfield, and Manchester United coming forward themselves. Eriksen, Rashford now inside the penalty area. He was well watched there actually by Lewis Binks, who took him wide. Still going Rashford, and then the cross is caught by Collins, and the Coventry City fans want him to deliver this, which he eventually does. He could have been quicker though, and therefore Maguire is able to head it away, and it's straight back to Craven Cottage because Trent Alexander-Arnold has put Liverpool into the lead. They lead Fulham by a goal to 0 after 32 minutes. He stepped up just left of the ball, 25 yards away, and floated the free kick past Bernd Leno. It was absolutely top class. He floated it in to the top left-hand corner. What a wonderful free kick. Fulham 0, Liverpool 1. That's what Liverpool needed today after their setbacks over the course of the last week or so. So Liverpool are in front. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Manchester United are on course for the cup final as Dalot finds Anthony on the right, Rashford back to Anthony, and the Coventry City supporters in great voice again, many of them wearing these sky blue bucket hats, and almost all of them, it feels, wearing Coventry City replica shirts. Not sure I've ever seen so many. Almost 40,000 Coventry City fans are inside Wembley Stadium for this. The official attendance, by the way, is 83,672. Here's Dalot bringing the ball forward and using Anthony on the far side, and Anthony just knocking it back into the Manchester United half. Just have the feeling now that Manchester United, after that Ellis Sims goal, which is his 19th of the season, what a good season he's having, his first season for Coventry City after he was on loan at Sunderland last season, feel that Manchester United now are just trying to
exert a measure of control on the match. They don't want it becoming chaotic.
No, they don't want it becoming a basketball match end to end. So yeah, they're taking the sting out of things and keeping possession, but Coventry got to maintain it. You're looking, I think Mark Robbins could make another one, maybe Matty Godden, centre forward, who can get you goals. I just try to change it up, maybe, sacrifice Haji Wright. He's been quiet.
Back to Crystal Palace, Paul Scott.
It has finished Crystal Palace 5, West Ham 2. Back-to-back wins for Oliver Glasner's side. All the damage done in the first half when the Eagles raced into a 4-0 lead. Michael Olise, Eberiche Eze, Jean-Philippe Mateta and an Emerson own goal. Antonio pulled one back before the break, but it was all in vain. Mateta grabbed his second before a Tyreek Mitchell own goal in the 90th minute. In truth, it was a Dean Henderson error. Pulled one back for West Ham. Crystal Palace 5, West Ham 2.
And also all over at Villa Park with you, Charlie Slater.
Villa 3, Bournemouth 1. Very impressive from Unai Emery's side, who shook off a sluggish start that saw them 1 down after half an hour from Solanke's penalty. Rodgers equalised in first half stoppage time. Diaby gave them the lead 10 minutes after the break. Bailey made sure with 12 minutes left. Watkins was brilliant. Villa in 4th moved 6 points clear of Spurs, who have 2 games in hand. Villa 3, Bournemouth 1.
Coventry with a free kick halfway inside their own half. 6:06 tonight, round about 6:30 after the Fulham-Liverpool match, and Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton, I'm certain, will want to hear your thoughts on that remarkable social media post from Nottingham Forest that if you've not heard about it, then read about it on the BBC Sport website and app, and talk to Robbie and Chris about it, and we'll tell you later when the lines are open. But you can book your call on 85058 or hashtag BBC 606. Ball played forward from the back for Coventry. Tavares miscontrols it. Disappointment as it bounces out of play for a throw into Manchester United in their own defensive third. That Wan-Bissaka flicks forward to Rashford. Wan-Bissaka now just checks back and plays it infield towards the now almost shaven-headed Christian Eriksen. Dalot forward from him into the path of Anthony. Anthony now runs across the corner of the box, shoots via a deflection, cleared away by Van Evack inside his own penalty area, and then Van Evack quickly passes it forward out towards the Coventry goalscorer Ellis Sims. Now he's on his own out there, teammates joining him. He's got 3 Manchester United players in front of him. Sims still going, gives it to O'Hare. O'Hare's shoot deflected. Oh, it's in! It's dropped in over Onana, and Coventry are right back in this. Who on earth would have thought this? Manchester United now have gone from easy street to nerve-jangling worries at Wembley. Coventry 2, Manchester United 3.
You know what I thought it was going in, John? You could tell by Onana. At first he's thinking, I can't get it, he's backpedaling, but credit to Sims. I thought Sims, go and take Casemiro on, but he didn't have enough bodies. Oh, it comes to O'Hare, and it takes a big deflection, and wrong foot's Onana, and he can't get there. He can't move his feet quick enough, and it is game on. Wow, who would have thought this?
Coventry making another change now.
De Silva on for Bidwell, John.
Yep, so a change in the full-back position. Bidwell coming off, Jay De Silva coming on, and now Clinton, we've got Coventry involved in a 3-2 at Wembley in the FA Cup.
Does it sound familiar?
It does. Just like 1987 all over again. Well, there is the possibility now, and who'd have thought we'd be talking about this, of extra time here at Wembley. And what a stroke of fortune that was for O'Hare. It hit the back of, was it Wan-Bissaka?
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka, it hit the back of Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka turned, struck him on the back, and looped over Onana and dropped in just under the crossbar. 2 goals in 8 minutes for Coventry City, and now Manchester United absolutely cruising. Here's Wright, Haji Wright pulls the ball across the penalty area, no one there in sky blue, cleared away by Wan-Bissaka. This could be a real test for Manchester United, who've let some games go, haven't they, this season? And they've won some late, but they've lost some late. And now Rashford's lost possession, and Sheaf takes it on and shoots left-footed wildly. There were options for him, but he went for goal, the Coventry captain, and it was high and away over the top corner.
Where was this in the first half, John? Why did it take 2 or 3-0 to go down before you reply? But credit to Coventry, they have replied. Man United look rattled at the moment. Rashford giving the ball away, and Sheaf, he just got excited there. Heard the crowd say shoot, it's high and wide, but We've got 10 minutes plus added on time, John. They'll get another big chance, Coventry.
Well, in the quarter-final at Molineux, Coventry City were 3 minutes away from going out, and then scored the 2 late goals to turn it all the way around. And now their supporters are thinking that there might just be a massive sting in the tail here. 3-0 down with 20 minutes to play. Now it's Coventry 2, Manchester United 3. And Coventry have got some spirit here now, although the ball is played back. Bobby Thomas has hauled over Hoyland. It was a yellow card as well, of course, for Thomas for that. It was blatant. He had to bring him down.
Yeah,
Free kick.
Yeah, Van Eyck with a bad back pass to Bobby Thomas. And you know what? You don't like to see it, but it's a good foul for his teammates because Hoyland was in there, so he made the decision he's going to take the yellow card for the team.
We've still got 8 minutes to play of the 90. That's ample time for someone to score a goal. Bruno Fernandes over this, absolutely cruising Manchester United, and suddenly all change. Bruno Fernandes waiting to take in this free kick, now looking for a goal that would settle the nerves. Oh, that's a lovely delivery, and it's headed away behind. He just curled it in there into the danger zone, and Haji Wright got there first to Coventry to head it behind.
He had to, and he looked like he wanted to go with his feet, but obviously he went with his head, but he had to go there. He definitely had to go there.
So yeah, Bobby Thomas was booked for the challenge on Hoyland. So it's a free, it's a corner from the left-hand side for Eriksson. This is at the Manchester United end. Eriksson waiting to take this. Here it is, into the 6-yard box, and it's headed away by Haji Wright. Bounces down on the edge of the penalty area. Wright is able to get there first again. Now Callum O'Hare, who scored the second goal via the massive deflection off Wan-Bissaka. It's taken on by De Silva, and now Coventry have it on the left-hand side with Tavares, and then the cross from De Silva comes off the shin of Harry Maguire at the edge of the 6-yard box, and behind for another corner to Coventry.
They believe, these fans believe, the players believe. I can't believe what game I'm watching, John.
Clinton, this is absolute madness.
Ridiculous.
This is madness.
Ridiculous.
I mean, the all world order has broken down here. Coventry are just running all over the pitch.
They are.
And just going for it. And what a joy it is to see. Thorpe with the corner for Coventry. But the referee's blown his whistle. There's something going on in the 6-yard box that he doesn't like. And who's he going to speak to? He's going to speak to Binks of Coventry and Bobby Thomas, and also McTominay and Hoyland. Right, so Victor Thorpe is going to get another go. Victor Thorpe only joined the club in January, where he was playing in Norway for Sarpsborg. Now here he is in an FA Cup semi-final. Thorpe drives it in towards the back post, and it is a header which comes off comes off the head of Ben Sheaf. Although the defender actually got to it first, so it's a throw-in for Coventry on the right-hand side.
Throw the ball. Oh, what's he? I don't know what he's waiting for. He's waiting. He must have a long throw. He does.
Yes, he does. It's Van Eyck. He's a little man, but he's got a long throw.
Yeah, he has.
And he's signalling to his teammates. So here he comes. Van Eyck with a long throw at the edge of the 6-yard box, away from Maguire. O'Hare forward, and then a shot. Oh, what a shot from Thorpe! It's saved brilliantly by Onana. Victor Thorpe on the edge of the area hit that brilliantly on the volley through a crowd, and Onana reacting, dived and parried it away.
It's a great save from Onana. I've shouted goal, John, because I thought he was going right into the top corner, but it's a brilliant save from Onana. Fantastic save. Oh, this game, ebb and flow, and it's all Coventry at the moment, but brilliant save. Great technique from Thorpe, and it's a great save from Onana.
If that had hit the back of the net, we would have been calling it, Clinton, what would we have been calling it? A tall...
Yeah, go on, John, you finish it off.
I can't say.
Go on, you can. It's your line,
It's a goal kick for Manchester United. Coventry 2, Manchester United 3. Well, 20 minutes, we thought it was all over. Now, we don't want it to end. As Hoyland heads it on down into the right-back area. There's a Coventry fan just outside the window here to my left who's got a smile all over his face. He's punching the air. He can't believe what he's watching here. And if they're able to take this to extra time, well, then it's anyone's guess. Manchester United, here's Bruno Fernandes though. Fernandes drags it back. Anyone in the end to our left must be wondering, how has it come to this? We had this game won, it was all over. McTominay now running forward with it. They might be about to win it again. McTominay to Rashford, and then back to McTominay. Rashford. Wan-Bissaka's arrived here as well on the left-hand side. This is halfway inside the Coventry half. And now Harry Maguire to Rashford. This is what they need, Manchester United. Just a little bit of order, really. That's what they're looking to restore here. Erik ten Hag, as he always does, you'd never know sometimes whether he was 3-0 up, 3-0 down, or what the score was. Although now he is actually just saying to Anana just to keep possession, and he does, right-footed out to the far side, Dalot, but then Anthony can't keep it for Manchester United. Collins plays it out. We've got 3.5 minutes of the 90 to go. Coventry 2, Manchester United 3. If you've just switched on, the Liverpool match is on Sports Extra. Fulham 0, Liverpool 1. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the goal scorer. Alistair Bruce Ball and Mark Schwarzer with the commentary there. But this might be over in a few minutes, or we might have extra time. And here's De Silva now. De Silva on the left side of the defence. And then the cross from Haji Wright. Tavares in the middle, then headed away by Wan-Bissaka. Further away by McTominay. Comes out for Haji Wright again. Callum O'Hare. O'Hare turning to his left and then infield to his right. Torp is there. We just had that shot that was so well saved by Onana. And now on the right-hand side, Van Eyck. Tavares couldn't find the return pass, and Wan-Bissaka is able to get his foot underneath it and clear it away. Coventry, full of energy, full of vim, full of spirit. O'Hare again on the far side, skips away from Anthony. De Silva back in field for Sheaf now, Ben Sheaf. O'Hare, and then Sims pass. That might set Manchester United away on the counter-attack. Bruno Fernandes and Højlund together. Coventry have got men back, and Bruno Fernandes keeps his feet after the challenge from Binks. Rashford takes it on, gives it back to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes to Højlund, turns near the penalty spot, couldn't get the shot in. Defenders were there, they dispossessed him, and now it's Coventry who come forward again down the other end. Here's one for Haji Wright to chase, and Nana is way out of his penalty area. He gets there first, he's almost on the right wing. The Manchester United goalkeeper, and knowing that he is there, just hits it away downfield.
Nice.
And to Craven Cottage, another goal. Sahal Sahi.
Yeah, Fulham have equalised, John, right at the end of the first half. It's Fulham 1, Liverpool 1. Liverpool didn't clear from their defensive area. It fell to Timothy Castagna, and he stroked it home for the equaliser. Fulham 1, Liverpool 1.
Liverpool pegged back. Commentary on Sports Extra. Tavares, Van Eyck across, right with a chance, blocked by Dalot. Then the shot is deflected from Torp over the top of the crossbar, and he actually hit his own man with the shot. He actually hit Haji Wright, who was on the ground, and that deflected it up and over for a goal kick.
Yeah, he did. Man United's left are struggling, to be fair. Rashford has to chat Van Eyck back. He's not doing that, and he's leaving Wan-Bissaka 2v1, and he's finding it difficult. They are creating chances, Coventry.
Harry Maguire there, I don't know whether you spotted him there, Clinton. Maguire was that...
Yeah, he was signalling. I think he was motioning to Rashford to track his runner. I did think he was doing that. Oh, it was Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. But he feels there, you could tell that there's the anxiety there, right there, written over Harry Maguire's body language. When Coventry come forward now, they're really causing problems for Manchester United. However, we're in the 90th minute. It all depends how much added time there is here at Wembley Stadium. The score, Coventry City 2, Manchester United 3. After Manchester United were 3-0 up, Coventry have fought their way back into the match against all expectations. And here's Sims now through the middle. Sims, 30 yards out, finds the pass, high out to Haji Wright. Wright's pass to O'Hare, 6 minutes of added time. But O'Hare wasn't able to collect it for Coventry. And Manchester United can now play it forward. Rashford running from inside his own half. He's been chased by Sheaf. who puts in the tackle, takes the ball, took Rashford as well. The referee says good tackle. And now Tavares breaks down the right-hand side. 3 men in the middle. Tavares, lots of defenders too. Still Tavares, ball right across the penalty area. Dallow's able to clear.
Put the ball in first time. Why are you slowing it down and letting them come back? Put the ball in. It's good defending from Dallow, but Tavares just got to whip it in. If I'm the centre forward, John, I'm going mad at him. Rashford's down from that tackle from Sheaf. I don't think there's nothing wrong. I just think it's tired. But Tavares has got to do better in that situation. And I'd be out there as a player and I'd be letting him know, John, in the nicest possible way, though.
I'm sure you would. Well, Ben Sheaf, it was a proper tackle by Sheaf. He took the ball and Rashford.
Well, the ref's obviously
there wasn't much contact.
No, but the ref's gone over to him and he's moaning. I think Rashford. He's like, "Well, we're going to carry on if you don't want the treatment."
And Eric Ten Hag is saying, "What's going on?" He said to Rashford, "Are you okay?" Which he is, and he's taking his time to get to his feet. He's feeling his shin. Well, it's turned into a proper FA Cup thriller, and Amad Diallo is now being brought forward. The man who scored the extraordinary winning goal right at the end of extra time against Liverpool. Amad Diallo, who was sent off in that match but was then suspended for the next match, which is the point I was making earlier about Casey Palmer, who is suspended for this game, having been booked in the quarter-final. O'Hare plays the ball into the edge of the box. Rashford's still on the field, so no Diallo yet. Coventry attacking again. Here's the cross from the left at the back post. It's stabbed goalwards by Binks.
He's given the
penalty. He's given the penalty and struck Wan-Bissaka. And Coventry have a penalty in the 3rd minute of added time. Well, Manchester United, their players are going to referee Robert Jones. VAR clearly will look at this. But Coventry have a chance here now from the penalty spot to make it 3-3. What amazing FA Cup drama.
Oh, do you know once he gives that, he's not going to change his mind. His hand is out, but he's trying to tuck it in, and it does hit it before he tucks it in, so I can't see him overturning it.
They are having a look. Peter Banks at Stockley Park.
John is out, but then he tries to tuck it back in and it hits it as it's going back in. I don't think he'll overturn it.
I think the players know.
Yeah, they know.
This is not a furious response from Manchester United. They are asking the question. But it was at close quarters, that's a factor. But the referee's seen it, the referee's given it. He was decisive, the on-field referee Robert Jones. And as Clinton Morrison says, I think it's highly unlikely that VAR will turn this around. So it was Binks who was at the back post, who was able to get the contact on the ball. And yeah, there's the confirmation. They've wasted no time. Yeah. Now, is it going to be Hadji Wright? Or does Callum O'Hare fancy this?
Let me tell you something. They played Southampton away and Hadji Wright ballooned it over the bar. He slipped and it hit his other foot in their last penalty they had and ballooned it over the bar. But if I'm the centre forward, Hadji Wright, I'm taking it again, and he is.
Yeah, he is. Well, he has scored 3 penalties this season. He's the club record signing.
This is pressure, John. This is a big penalty. Huge.
Well, whoever thought it was going to come to this? 20 minutes to play. Manchester United were cruising through to the final. And now here we are in the 5th minute of added time. And Hadji Wright, standing on the edge of the box, a straight run up, has a chance to make it 3-3. A little stutter, and he sends it out of the wrong way, and Coventry have made it 3-3. Have you ever in your life? The FA Cup. Wow. This is genuine fairy tale FA Cup drama at Wembley Stadium. Coventry City in the semi-final for only the 2nd time in the club's history. And from 3-0 down, dead and buried against Manchester United, it's 3-3. And we're heading to extra time.
John, I'm lost for words. 3-0 down, we think it's over. Then they get it to 3-1, 3-2, and then the penalty decision. And credit Hadji Wright, because as I said, he missed his last one, and he sent Onana the wrong way. Really confident penalty. It looks like we might have to do another 30 minutes and even more penalties.
Are we complaining?
No chance. Clinton? No way.
And after Molineux, after Hadji Wright at Molineux, scoring in the 10th minute of added time to win that match against Premier League Wolverhampton Wanderers. This match level it all at 3-3, and with chaos everywhere, Manchester United, their supporters in their half of the stadium, just they don't know what to do with themselves. Wild celebrations at the other end. You know, there's a chance for a team to win this yet.
Definitely. And you know what I'd say? Before that, John, Højlund had a massive chance on the 6-yard box, but it's because the play went to the other end. Bruno Fernandes played him and he took way too long to get his shot away. And that's what it is with Man United this season. And that's what I said earlier, John. Coventry showed Man United way too respect. This is not Man United of 9-10 years ago. You can go and get at them.
Well, get at them they have. McTominay, Maguire and Fernandes scored for Manchester United. And with the best will in the world, everyone here thought it was all over. And still we play on at 3-3, and Tavares with the cross, and Sims controls, and Sims' shot is blocked, and Bruno Fernandes takes it away, and he's tripped by Sheaf, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
That was the chance. That was the chance there.
I can't believe this.
That was a chance. If Sims could just open his body and get it, but I can't believe it either, John. This is why we love this beautiful game.
I honestly can't believe what we're saying.
Bonkers.
Yeah. I always say to Chris Sutton, after what he and I witnessed in the Champions League semi-final with Tottenham and Ajax, that, you know, I always said to him, I'm never going to count anything out ever again. And here we are, Manchester United 3-0 up, brought back to 3-3, and with extra time coming, Marcus Rashford's taken off.
I think he's like kind of limped off and Diallo's come on, but you know the impact he had in the last round though, John.
Yep, the winning goal, Amad Diallo against Liverpool, when really Manchester United had no right that day to go through. But Coventry still would play on. O'Hare through for Sims, but Onana's out of the penalty area, and he just got there first to volley it high, not out of play. Bruno Fernandes keeps it in. We're now in the 8th minute of added time, but there was a lengthy delay with the VAR around the penalty decision, and so still we play on. Tavares has won it back against Bruno Fernandes. Sheaf now back to Van Eyck, who turns back into his own half. This must be it, surely. That must be it as he plays it forward.
I think Coventry fans are saying you're getting sacked in the morning. It's not over yet, it's over.
Yeah, well, you can hear this. That couldn't be louder. However, Coventry aren't through yet, and Manchester United aren't out yet. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe, watching from up in the stands, after his London Marathon exertions, he must be feeling like he's gone through another marathon watching this Coventry comeback. And here is Amad Diallo, who runs away from Sheaf, and Amad Diallo gives it to his left to Bruno Fernandes, and Manchester United might win it right at the end. Bruno Fernandes drives it right across, it's deflected out and then cleared away by Victor Torp, who's able to volley it out of play on the far side. And surely that must be it. Robert Jones puts his whistle to his lips but doesn't blow the final whistle yet. He's just indicating that it is a throw-in, which is taken. And now Manchester United with Diallo play it back towards Harry Maguire, and Maguire wanders forward. Manchester United have got no one back. Mind you, Coventry have got everyone back defending, and then the pass in any case just runs harmlessly through for a goal kick, and that will be it. So get ready everybody, extra time is on the way. I think this will be the last kick. And after all, we are in the 10th minute of added time now. It remains Fulham 1, Liverpool 1, if you've just switched on and were wondering. That match is on Sports Extra, the commentary with Alistair Bruce Ball and Mark Schwarzer. So more to come on that, but I think this is the final action of the 90 minutes plus 10. The goal kick for Collins. Coventry supporters. I mean, the Manchester United half is absolutely flat. The Manchester United half of the stadium, and the stands to our right, the 3 tiers all the way around, all sky blue shirts, flags. It is all vibrancy.
Where's this time come from?
Still with play on. I thought the final whistle would go when Collins took it downfield. Sims flicks it on. Manchester United play it to Amad Diallo, and Amad Diallo is in danger of losing possession here to Van Eyck, and actually in the end does recover and plays it back to Onana. And here comes the final whistle, finally, now, in the 11th minute of added time. Well, football just keeps on surprising us. Just watching some of the people in front of us. I mean, the reactions on the people's faces in front of us, Coventry fans in front of us, wreathed in smile. They are actually laughing their heads off that they've come from 3-0 down to draw 3-3 with Manchester United. Clinton 3-0 up with 20 minutes to play. McTominay, Maguire and Fernandes, and then Ellis Sims, Callum O'Hare's deflected shot and Hadji Wright's penalty, and against all expectations we've got extra time.
John, I thought now I'd be just saying goodbye and leaving the stadium, but yeah, it's ridiculous, to be fair. What a game of football we've seen, and this is what a proper FA Cup semi-final. But we did thought there's a bit of a boring affair in that first half because it was one-way traffic. But credit Coventry, whatever he said at half-time, Mark Robbins, big response for them, and yeah, extra time, anything could happen now.
Yep, in those last 20 minutes I thought I might be asking you your favourite pubs and cafes in Coventry and from your time there, but no, don't go anywhere, Clinton. It's Coventry 3, Manchester United 3.
Oh, it's impossible to even know where to look at Wembley right now. Mark Robbins, the calmest man inside the stadium, it seems. Eric Ten Hag, almost impossible to read, doing a team talk down below with his players right now. And then the 40,000 Coventry City fans who have not stopped waving their flags. As you say, there was a man in front of me who, was just, I didn't know whether he was going to lob his child into the air. That is the kind of point we were at. So we're going to pause here for a moment. It is half-time at Craven Cottage. Let's check in on the Premier League then. Fulham, Liverpool, Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, half-time here, Katie. Fulham 1, Liverpool 1. A dominating first half for Liverpool, which took a huge twist in injury time. Chances missed by Diaz and Jota before a tale of 2 free kicks. The first was wasted by Harvey Elliott. The second was brilliantly executed by Trent Alexander-Arnold to open the scoring. Fulham, they equalised after a break down the left, which wasn't dealt with by the Liverpool defence, which Timothy Castagna happily converted. Half-time here, Katie. Fulham 1, Liverpool 1.
Thank you, Sahel. And because we are going to extra time here at Wembley, we don't want to leave this match. But if you do want to follow that one in the Premier League, can Liverpool keep pace with Arsenal at the top of the table? That one is going to be played out in full over on 5 Sports Extra. We will join as and when things wrap up here at Wembley. But let's bring in Chris Sutton, who's going to be on after us with 6:06. Afternoon, Chris. I mean, it's the magic. It's the sprinkling of the FA Cup magic here.
Well, absolutely. What an afternoon of football, Katie. Incredible Coventry's fight back. I've got to say, I didn't think it was a penalty. I thought Wan-Bissaka's arms were by his side. I thought that was incredibly harsh. But how can Manchester United be 3 goals up and let this slip against a championship team, a good championship team? With respect, who knows who's going to go on to win this one. Liverpool's fascinating as well, as you quite rightly said. They have to beat Fulham somehow this afternoon. Left Mo Salah out, Nunez out of the starting lineup. And then I don't know. Well, you must have seen the Nottingham Forest Twitter account. What they had to say.
We're talking about that all through half time. We'll touch on that in a moment. But actually, I've just put a question to myself, Chris, which I can't answer, so I'll throw it to you. Which game is more must-win this afternoon, Liverpool or Man United here?
Well, I think if you ask both sets of supporters, that would be an easy one. I mean, look, is Eric Ten Hag going to last the season anyway? Does he need the FA Cup? He's got to get through this next 30 minutes or penalties or whatever it is. I don't think that he'll be there next season. But, I mean, Jurgen Klopp needs it, doesn't he? If they want to stay up at the top with Manchester City and Arsenal, they have to somehow find a way to win at Craven Cottage, and they're not having it all their own way. So fascinating ends to these games.
Yeah, extra time, moments away. But let's just quickly mention that statement from Nottingham Forest after their loss at Everton. They said 3 extremely poor decisions today, 3 penalties not given, which we simply cannot accept. We warned the PGMOL that the VAR is a Luton fan before the game. They didn't change him. Our patience has been tested multiple times. We'll now consider our options. Just very quickly, Chris, of course you're going to want callers on this. An extraordinary statement.
Oh, beyond extraordinary. I don't know where you go with this one, but I mean, let's put it out there. Does the Nottingham Forest Twitter account have a point with that? I also saw the Sky interview with Nico Williams at the end of the game. He said every single week they've been getting decisions like this. It wouldn't happen to a top 6 club. Is he right? We'll put it out there. 08085 909 693. I don't think he is.
Get your calls in. Just to let you know as well, the FA investigating the tweet from Nottingham Forest. BBC Sport has contacted the Premier League and the PGMOL for response as well, so we'll bring you that where we can. Right, the teams have had their talks at the side of the pitch. They are back on the Wembley turf. One of the most remarkable games here. It is the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We're going to extra time. It's 3-3 between Manchester United and the Championship side Coventry City. So let's return to our commentary team. Alongside me here at Wembley Stadium, former Coventry striker Clinton Morrison and our correspondent John Murray.
Yeah, no more substitutions. And the extra time begins. Manchester United kicking off. Bruno Fernandes and Højlund over the ball in the centre circle, playing the ball back towards the edge of the penalty area. And Manchester United with Casemiro up towards Amad Diallo. And Diallo gets it back now on the right-hand side. Manchester United, having had lots of time during the break to think about this with Erik ten Hag and his various messages. Manchester United trying to make a start to extra time like they started the match. I mean, so dominant in the first half, and eventually building that 3-0 lead that somehow they've allowed to let slip. And the ball is lost by them, and it's out of play for a throw-in for Coventry that Milan van Eyck will take. The Dutchman who throws it up the line and wins a second consecutive throw. Just gets another ball off the cone and will actually throw it back to his goalkeeper, Collins, who's able to control it and pass it back to him. In fact, it's Thomas he gives it to, just outside the penalty area. And then forward from him and a stretch from Torp back to Binks, who's now the left-sided central defender after the changes that Mark Robins made that had such great effect. And now De Silva, who came on immediately after the goal for 3-2, when suddenly Coventry and Mark Robins sensed that there might be something here. But I think Clinton Morrison, after the whole furore, all of the anger about the decision to scrap the FA Cup replays, you know, if ever there was a time for the FA Cup itself to remind everyone how special it can be, well, it's delivered.
Yeah, it's delivered, and this is why it's still the best cup for me in the world. I actually love this. If you're a youngster growing up in this country, the FA Cup is the best one, and it's days like this prove that we're not wrong.
Here's Wan-Bissaka on the left-hand side, inside his own half against Tavares, passing it forward towards Anthony, and Anthony has to come back into his own half. Now back to Harry Maguire, and then back it goes across the penalty area, and Onana passes it out to the edge of the penalty area to Dalot. Here's Casemiro, who himself has had injury and fitness issues, as has Harry Maguire this week, so for them to have to play extra time. And with the changes that have been made by Manchester United, Erik ten Hag has made 3 changes. He's brought on Anthony, Eriksen and Amad Diallo. Really, the outfield players on the bench now for Manchester United, they're all the youngsters, they're the teenagers.
They are. This is all they've got, John. So it's these 11 that need to go out there and produce for Man United.
But as we said right at the outset, still man for man, the players on the field, Manchester United should still be the strong favourites. But what have they got? It's the psychology of this as well. It's the season that they've had, the topsy-turvy nature of it, the way that there've been late goals and twists, and now this has happened to them here at Wembley Stadium. What have they got? Tavares forward now for Sheaf back to Van Eyck, and then Ben Sheaf again. Also a thought for Liam Kelly, who's on the bench, the club captain, who is at the club in the League 2 days. He's watching on as Tavares tangles with Wan-Bissaka, and Manchester United are able to pass it away. Højlund with a little touch around the corner to Anthony, wants it back, Højlund, but then across comes Bobby Thomas just to strike it away downfield. Onana has come out of his penalty area and chested it down, and he's volleyed it away to the halfway line. Bobby Thomas heads it infield, but he's given it to Højlund, and now Manchester United. Højlund through the middle, he's got Amad Diallo to his right, he finds Diallo. There are men back in the box for Coventry. Diallo then back to Bruno Fernandes, who hits the crossbar with a shot. It comes back out, it struck the underside of the bar, bounced down, stayed out, and Coventry have cleared.
They have cleared, and it's Haji Wright one-on-one with Casemiro here. Yeah, and he just goes past.
He's taken him on and he's beaten Casemiro, and he's down to the byline, and he's overrun it all the way through for a goal.
What a game, John. It's brilliant. I thought Højlund took too long to play it to Diallo. where Diallo does well, cuts it back to Bruno Fernandes because there is going to be tired legs, and he whips it, and Collins is beaten, hits the crossbar, goes to safety, and then you're thinking, had you right? Because Casemiro's going to be flat on his feet, just burns past him, but Diallo does well to get back at him, and he just kicks out of play. But it's a brilliant game, end to end. But there's going to be a lot of tired legs now, John.
You can say that again. Tavares has gone down, so we'll have a little stoppage here. So the medical men will come on. That reminded me of, do you remember in the Champions League, Real Madrid against Manchester City a couple of seasons ago, when Vinicius ran round Fernandinho? Well, that was like Hadji right there round Casemiro.
Yep.
And so we've got another stoppage here. So this will all be added on at the end of the first period of extra time. So it is 3-3. If you've just switched on, we've got unimaginable drama here at Wembley, where it's Coventry 3, Manchester United 3. Fulham-Liverpool is still progressing in the Premier League at Craven Cottage, and in fact let's get an update from Sohail Sahi while Tavares gets to his feet.
Yeah, 4 minutes played in the second half, John. Still Fulham 1, Liverpool 1, both sides settling into their pattern of play at the start of this second half. Just to remind our listeners, Trent Alexander-Arnold with the first goal in the first half, 32 minutes from a free kick, and Timothy Castagne equalising in stoppage time at the end of the first period of play. Fulham 1, Liverpool 1.
Bruno Fernandes, Clinton Morrison so close to planting that shot into the top corner, just a matter of centimetres again.
Yeah, he was unlucky, to be fair, but it's probably the one player in the Man United team you wanted it to fall to. He's got the composure and he's unlucky.
Tavares has had to leave the field, but he is going to be okay. He's just having a drink, swigging water, and he's just limbering up, jogging on the spot, getting ready to come back onto the field. So Coventry right now playing with 10 men, but then on he comes Tavares, and was almost in a position to take the ball off Wan-Bissaka, and then Anthony just plays it back to Maguire on the halfway line.
The way he's running, John, it looks like he's got cramp. He was introduced only in that second half, wasn't he, Tavares?
What's that in the centre circle? It looks like
is that taped?
Maybe it is just tape. It looks quite big for tape.
It does look a bit.
It's like shin pads.
Yeah, you're right.
Long ball forward. Bruno Fernandes heads it goalwards, but he managed to get away from Bobby Thomas. But that was a tired header from Bruno Fernandes, just glanced it well wide. And it bounces behind for a Coventry City goal kick. So the sunshine here, Wembley Stadium, almost 84,000 people. What a treat this has been. Although if I say to the Manchester United supporters after this, wasn't that a treat? I'm not sure they'd think of it the same way.
The only reason they'll say it is if they win, they'll say it was a treat. Yes.
Get through. But Coventry playing it back again from Van Eyck, and now Binks left-footed towards Hadji Wright on the halfway line. Sims, who did have a chance right at the end of normal time, wasn't able to take it, but he has been able to get onto the score sheet. What about Hadji Wright with the penalty that made it 3-3 as well, Clinton? That was nerve, wasn't it?
Literally a few minutes before the end of the game, and it is big nerves, especially when you've missed your last one, John. It shows great character, because O'Hare was over the ball, but Hadji Wright was confident, and it's a great penalty. Sent Onana the wrong way.
Yes, it was. Hadji Wright making it 3-3. That was in the 5th minute of added time. We've now had 8 minutes of extra time. Bruno Fernandes' shot has hit the crossbar, but still all square. Dalot halfway inside his own territory. Then Eriksson, right for the ball forward. Amadello almost got there first, but Binks was able to come across, and his ball has actually ended up being brought down by Wright, and now Sims brings in Tavares to the right-hand side. Callum O'Hare wants it on the edge of the penalty area. Tavares' pass infield to Sheep was a little short, and Bruno Fernandes and Hoyland's done exceptionally well there, and Hoyland's found the pass to Diallo, and Diallo's running through. There are defenders coming back. Diallo though to the edge of the area, and then he's forced to turn back in field and use Eriksson. Takes a touch, Eriksson with a shot, but that's straight into the shins of Victor Torp. Dane to Dane, and Coventry City have possession back halfway inside their own half, and Binks actually takes the option just to tap it back to his goalkeeper, who will pass it forward to Bobby Thomas, and then Thomas over here to the right hand side to Van Eyck, he's played as a right winger, he's played as a right wing back, and now he's playing as right back. Again, you know, a very effective Coventry City Mark Robins signing. Here's Sheaf. With Manchester United players either side, he's able to turn it back into defence to Thomas, and Torp is going to strike a pass. This is for Tavares to chase after. I'm not sure he's going to get there. No, he doesn't. The ball bounces out of play, and I think there might have been a little twinge there, whether it was cramp or not, I'm not sure. Remains 3-3 here, but stand by your beds. There's been another goal at Craven Cottage. Sohail Sahi.
And a big goal, John. It's gone to Liverpool. They've retaken the lead. Fulham 1, Liverpool 2. 8 minutes played in the second half. Given away in midfield by the home side. Picked up by Elliott. He fed Ryan Gravenberch on the arc of the D. And a lovely right-footed shot curling past Bernd Leno for his first Premier League goal for Liverpool. Liverpool lead here at Craven Cottage by 2-1.
And the choice of listening right now, FA Cup on 5 Live and on the World Service. The Premier League is on Sports Extra. That match with Alistair Bruce Ball and Mark Schwarzer via BBC Sounds or digital radio. Here is O'Hare for Coventry. If I was in the car, I'm not sure I know what I would listen to. The choice between these two matches. But I'm pleased I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a hard one.
Van Eyck back to Sheaf. And now Torp. He's really made a difference, Torp. As Tavares wins a throw off Wan-Bissaka. Chris Sutton said at the break there that he thought that was a harsh penalty award against Manchester United for the Wan-Bissaka handball. Lines open for 6:06. Sheaf is going to shoot for goal from 25 yards, but Onana knew it was heading wide of the post.
I can hear what Chris is saying, but you've seen them given all season with his hand out like that, because I know he's trying to move his hand away, but because it's still sticking out, and once the referee makes it, it's never going to be overturned.
3-3. Heading towards the end of the first period of extra time. Coventry City, who remember lost on penalties here almost a year ago in the playoff final against Luton Town. What does that mean? Does that mean anything?
It could. We'll wait and see if we get to that.
Okay. I'll let you have a think about
let me have a think about that.
Okay.
Could be their day.
Here's Anthony, but Manchester United about to take that on, but as adjudged to have been a foul on Torp in the centre circle, so Coventry take a quick free kick, but the referee says no, hang on, because Manchester United have got McTominay on the ground, and he gets to his feet.
They're making a change.
And he's going to walk off the field. Actually, he's had a knee problem, McTominay. He was a doubt for this match, and he's able to walk off the field, but he has to be replaced in centre midfield, so no choice. One of the teenagers is having to be forced into action, and it's Omari Forson, just his 6th appearance, his 6th senior appearance for Manchester United, coming onto the field, the 19-year-old, the former West Ham and Tottenham youngster, who's a forward player, attacking midfielder, winger, taking the place of McTominay, so this is going to have to be a bit of a rejig for Manchester United.
It's like Ericsson and Diallo and Fernandes in midfield. That's their midfield three at the moment.
We've got just over a couple of minutes of the first period of extra time to go. Coventry City 3, Manchester United 3. Coventry coming from 3-0 down with 20 minutes of the match to spare. And if you weren't listening in the first half, it was all over. It was absolutely done and dusted. We were talking about another all-Manchester final, and Coventry have done this. And there have been chances at both ends for either team to move ahead. And here's Sims through the middle for Coventry against this rejigged Manchester United midfield. Now Torp on the left-hand side. It's Torp who's caught the eye for anyone who's come onto the field. And here he is again, the tall Danish midfielder, gives it to the left-hand side. De Silva, another of the Mark Robins substitutes, ball into right in the area, shot straight into Harry Maguire, who was a yard in front of him. And Van Eyck will do well to keep it in, and actually in keeping it in, he's given it to Anthony, and Anthony passes it forward to Hoyland, and now Coventry have got to get back because Hoyland's breaking forward. Then Bobby Thomas, the central defender for Coventry, goes to ground, puts in the tackle to put it out of play.
And you know he has to make that, John. He's already been booked. If he mistimes that's a second yellow card. It's a big tackle from Thomas. So in fact, and now he's got a bit of cramp.
Yeah, he's got cramp, so there's There's going to be a stoppage here as well. We probably will have a couple of minutes of added time at the end of this first period of extra time. It seems like the skies have darkened over Wembley. We can't see a patch of sky where we are, tucked away back at the back of the lower tier here at Wembley Stadium, but it does seem to have become rather gloomy. Extraordinary FA Cup semi-final this has been. Wan-Bissaka takes the throw, then Anthony back to Wan-Bissaka again. Hoyland works it to Anthony. Anthony square to Bruno Fernandes, square again, now to the edge of the box, and it is a shot that whistles wide and low from the young substitute Forson, that took a flick. Either the goalkeeper got his fingers to it or it touched the defender, and it's a corner to Manchester United.
Let's see who marks Harry Maguire, because he's the threat. He's the one that I'd probably double mark him, John. He's that much of a threat, Harry Maguire.
Seems like a long time ago now, just before half-time in normal time, that Harry Maguire headed Manchester United into a 2-0 lead. Here is the corner, Bruno Fernandes, it's headed away across the penalty area. Anthony's ball back in, that's blocked inside the 6-yard box, cleared to the edge of the area, ball still rattling around inside the Coventry box. The referee spotted an infringement by Amari Forson, and it's a free kick to Coventry in their own penalty area.
Oh, it's nerve-wracking.
Like a high foot from Amari
Forson, yeah, it was brave defending.
So it is still Fulham 1, Liverpool 2 at Craven Cottage in the commentary match that continues on Sports Extra. And we'll have more on that at half-time in extra time, which is right now. Half-time and extra time, no further addition to the score, although Bruno Fernandes' shot hit the crossbar. So 15 more minutes, plus whatever time is added on by Robert Jones, and then possibly this semi-final might be decided on penalties. But it is Coventry 3, Manchester United 3.
Well, as the sun begins to dip here at Wembley Stadium, the drama certainly is dialing up. So we've got second half of extra time commentary to come here. Coventry City 3, Manchester United 3. Let's head back to Craven Cottage then in the Premier League. Fulham, Liverpool. Sahel Sahi watching.
We've played an hour now here at Craven Cottage, Katie. It's Fulham 1, Liverpool 2. So as things stand, Liverpool will move up to second in the Premier League table, level on points with Arsenal at the top, only goal difference separating the two sides. Ryan Gravenberch with the all-important second goal for Liverpool. Poor play from Fulham's midfield. It was given away. Harvey Elliott pounced and he fed Gravenberch, and it was a lovely curling finish for his first Premier League goal in the colours of Liverpool. Harvey Elliott has missed a good chance for Liverpool, and Jota just had a shot which was well saved by Bernd Leno. We've played 61 minutes. Fulham 1, Liverpool 2.
Sahel, thank you. So both sides here down by the touchline, by the technical areas, just taking on water, taking on instruction. We'll be back underway in just a couple of moments' time. Clinton Morrison alongside me in that first 15 minutes then, Clinton, of extra time. United with the pressure there. And we talked a lot about the fairy tale for Coventry City, but Amad Diallo providing his own sort of fairy tale in the last round, in the quarterfinals for United against Liverpool, and he's looking pretty hungry there.
Yeah, he's just come on, so he's going to be the sharpest one, and that's who Coventry have to look out for. Diallo, he set up obviously Bruno Fernandes and he hit the crossbar, but he looks the most likely at the moment for Man United. Coventry players are just going to need their fans. They're trying to G their fans up to be that 12th man, because they look tired at the moment. They're probably going to make a few substitutions, but you're right, Diallo looks the main man for Man United.
And Diogo Dalot there just making a fist pump towards the Manchester United fans, who, John Murray, have been a little quiet since all the goals started going in for Coventry City. But we're about to get underway then, second half of extra time to come here on 5 Live Sports, the FA Cup semi-finals. I'll hand you back to Clinton Morrison and John Murray.
Yes, thank you, Katie. Matt Godden is coming onto the field. The number 24, he's missed the last 4 matches with a calf injury.
Yeah, he's come on for Tavares. Tavares is the one who's struggling, John. I remember when he went down before, and I thought he kept hobbling, and Robbins was kind of saying to him, take him on, and he kept coming back inside. So the sub has been subbed, but it looks like an injury.
Yeah, he was struggling, and he was effective actually. He did well, Tavares. So Matt Godden is on instead, and off we go then for the final 15 minutes, the second half of extra time here at Wembley Stadium, 5 Live and the World Service from the BBC. Coventry City 3, Manchester United 3 for the right to take on the FA Cup holders Manchester City next month back here at Wembley. Højlund and Eriksson now. Eriksson infield towards Forsen. Amari Forsen turns and just rolls it back to Casemiro, who's playing in central defence. If you haven't heard that already this afternoon, Amad Diallo, then Dalot with him on the right flank, and Manchester United go back all the way to Onana. And again, the Coventry City fans strike up another chorus to our right. I'm wondering whether that, the old tales of whether anyone in a Coventry City flag or shirt thought when there were 20 minutes to go, I'm giving this up, I'm heading back to Coventry.
Well, you know what it was? George, our producer, saying to me, he said, how many fans left at 3-0 down, John?
I can't
to
see
beat
many.
the traffic.
I can't see many spaces.
Yeah.
Here's Maguire now. Maguire carrying it forward, long, deep into the Coventry half, still going. He's got it to the byline, and his cross is blocked. Comes back to Maguire, who curls it from the angle, and goalkeeper Collins actually dives and claws it away out of play on this side of the field.
What a run from Harry Maguire, John. And he kept on battling, and he done ever so well on the byline. Then he tried to bend it into the top corner, and I think you're right. I think Collins makes a brilliant save.
I think that might well have been on target from Harry Maguire from the tightest of angles.
Yeah, he did.
That would have been some goal for Harry Maguire to score.
Yeah, I think
anyway,
it might be.
He clawed it away, the goalkeeper, and it's a corner. Eriksson to take this. So obviously Maguire the target. This is the end where he scored his goal earlier in the match. Eriksson curling it in, Maguire's after it, goalkeeper gets a fist to it, comes out to Anthony, now back to the edge of the penalty area. Amad Diallo curls it all the way back to the right hand side to Eriksson, who thought about delivering, then delays, then in it comes left-footed, comes off the defender's head, binks, and all the way through for another corner to Manchester United from the other side, the left.
Yeah, they've been a threat from set pieces all afternoon. Coventry dealt better with it in the second half and that first half of extra time, but they are going to be a threat. Eriksson's got great delivery.
And it is Christian Eriksen there, who, as we look at it here, there's a red shirt with a backdrop almost completely of sky blue behind him. And Eriksson drives this into the near post, which is headed away for Coventry to the edge of the area. O'Hare is able to get there first for Coventry City. And now O'Hare has got 3 Manchester United players in front of him over here on the left-hand side, and is able to win a throw-in halfway inside his own half that Jay Da Silva is trotting across to take. Jay Da Silva's socks are also dropping down towards his ankles, and
I think VAR, they're checking for something. I don't know, the referee's saying wait, the linesman's saying to wait, so something's happened in the box
inside the Coventry City penalty area, and the Coventry City fans have clocked this, and
they played on though. Yeah. Because the Man United fans were going mad. It was them,
and it was whether it was a handball at the near post by Bobby Thomas.
Oh yeah, I think it misses his hand and it hits the side of his arm. It was out.
His arm was outstretched in front of his body. If that had struck his arm there,
it would have been a penalty.
They would have given that as a penalty. They've had a quick look and decided it didn't strike the arm, but it was very, very close.
Definitely.
6:06 on the way, lots to talk about, certainly from the Everton-Nottingham Forest game earlier and the Nottingham Forest social media post, but lots of action to talk about as well today. And here's Højlund now. Højlund bringing it to the edge of the penalty area, still going, and the shot is blocked by Binks. And now it's played forward by Sheaf, and it's Godden who's taking it on. Matt Godden, he's forced wide but back into the penalty area, and then the shot is blocked by Casemiro, who just got his upper body in the way of it and send it behind for a Coventry corner at the other end.
He's got to keep going, John. You know why? He wants to get it back onto his right foot. Casemiro was out of the game there. Just keep on going into the box. He'll have to bring you down, but because he wants to get onto his right foot, good recovery from Casemiro.
Still locked at 3-3. A balloon goes off just outside the box here.
That made me jump, John.
Did it? Are you of a nervous disposition?
Yes.
Not as nervous as Erik ten Hag. Corner then to be taken by Torp, front of the Manchester United fans. This, and Torp raises both of his arms and does it again. And then a deep delivery to the back post, which is headed down by Bobby Thomas, but he actually just gets a glance on that, and it ends up in the left back area. And Dalot has possession for Manchester United. Now Christian Eriksen Ericsson will play it infield towards Bruno Fernandes, and then Bruno Fernandes falls as he hoists a long one downfield, but that's onto the head of Van Evak, and then Sheaf releases Sims down the right. Godden's in the middle, Sims still going, and then he angles it back to the edge of the area, and there was no one there in a sky blue shirt. It was nipped away. It was nipped away by Wan-Bissaka, actually, and then a foul on Dalot and a free kick to Manchester United.
For the life of me, Sims is a centre forward. He's on that right hand side. He comes into his left foot and he's trying to look for someone on the edge of the box. Put your foot through it, Sims. You've already scored this afternoon. Good opportunity. The game's opening up now, John, massively.
Free kick for Manchester United, halfway inside their own half, and I think that was a yellow card for De Silva. It was, for his foul on Dalot. So another yellow card for Coventry City for that.
I can see there Harry Maguire, I think he's holding his fire, you know, John, and they've made all their subs, I think, Man United.
Here is Dalot on the right hand side. Amad Diallo in the full-back position. Harry Maguire might well be one of Manchester United penalty takers as well. As the ball's lifted over the top, Dalot tries to play it back, blocked by De Silva. He's got to be careful, De Silva, against Anthony with all of his tricks. Anthony does come out with the ball, back to Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the area, and then Binks clatters into Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the area. Goodness me, he felt that. He took the ball low. Fernandes is still down in a heap. Van Evak forward towards Sims. Now O'Hare. Haji Wright could be in on his left foot. Shoots it low and across the face of goal, and 3 feet wide of the far post.
What a chance for Haji Wright. That all starts from Binks. What a tackle on Bruno Fernandes. And Van Eyck, I don't know where he gets his running power from on the right hand side, but he just goes past Højlund like he's not there. Sims does well, plays a great ball to Haji Wright. And you know, once he takes that touch, I never felt confident, John, on his left foot. If it was on his right foot, he would have hit the target, but big opportunity.
Yeah, like the way that he scored the goal, the winning goal against Wolves at Molineux on his right foot. But yes, what a tackle that was from Binks. And Bruno Fernandes has only just got to his feet.
He's cramped. The goalkeeper was stretching out his calves.
But Binks, my goodness, he'll not forget that, Bruno Fernandes. Binks, the force was with him there, all right. And Manchester United have got the ball inside, halfway inside their own half. Bruno Fernandes is just strolling back towards the halfway line. Well, he'll be one of Manchester United's penalty takers, obviously. There's Harry Maguire.
Ten Hag's going mad at Dalot because he's saying our defenders are struggling and you keep getting forward and leave isolated Casemiro one-on-one. You just have to stay disciplined. Hope your attacking players can go and win you the game.
7 minutes to go. Then it'll be penalties. Højlund now through into the penalty area, but Anthony, who was making the run, that was intercepted by Bobby Thomas. And then excellent work from Godden. Sims takes it up from the right hand side, and Sims marauding through the middle. Still Ellis Sims up towards the edge of the penalty area, but red shirts converge on him. Then Wan-Bissaka is challenged by Van Evak, but Eriksen's there for Manchester United. Forward towards Anthony. There's no flag against Anthony yet. He's up against Bobby Thomas. Anthony, high crossfield pass. That's taken down on the chest by Amad Diallo, the extra time expert against Liverpool. And Diallo, hoping it would open up, gives it square to Wan-Bissaka. Now Anthony again, shoots across goal, blocked by a defender. Then a curling shot across the face of goal by Amad Diallo, but wide of the far post. Goal kick, Coventry, still 3-3.
You can see it's so much tired legs and tired minds there, John, because there's chances. Every time Coventry go forward, they get broke on, and Man United have a chance, and vice versa. So there'll still be a couple of big chances for both teams in this half.
So it is still Fulham 1, Liverpool 2 at Craven Cottage, or is it, Sohail Sahi?
No, it's not, John. It's Fulham 1, Liverpool 3. A counter-attack breakaway goal for Liverpool's third. Gakpo picked it up. He picked out Jota, and it was an unerring finish. Low pass burnt Leno. Clinical from Liverpool. Fulham 1, Liverpool 3.
So Liverpool now have the cushion there. That would move them back level with the current leaders Arsenal at the top of the table. Manchester City play on Thursday night. We've got coverage of all of those midweek matches Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here on 5 Live Sport. This is 5 Live in the World Service, and it is the final minutes of extra time. 3-3. O'Hare, lovely ball to right, edge of the area, right between two United players. Sims now trying to find a position. He's forced wide. Oh, his shot hits the crossbar and bounces down and out. How did that stay out?
I don't know how that stayed out. I thought it's hit the bar and bounced and then going to go over the line. It's brilliant play between Haji Wright and Matt Godden. And Sims he rolls his man, and you're thinking, you're waiting for the net to ripple, and it hits the crossbar, and O'Hare hits it into the side netting. Great play again from Coventry. And Sims, really good strength from Sims.
It was like Jeff Hurst in the World Cup final.
He's unlucky.
But this one stayed out. Here's Anthony, still 3-3. So both teams have now struck the crossbar. Anthony into the Coventry penalty area. Then back towards Amadello. Uses his shoulder to control it. Forson with the shot. That's a foot over the top of the bar. And Dallow says, why didn't you give it to me? But it's a goal kick, Coventry.
How is this still 3-3, John? Please tell me, with the chances that we've seen in this extra time. I still think the Sims one is the biggest opportunity. He's so unlucky.
Hit the underside of the crossbar. I don't know if that's just been shown on the big screen. I think it has. Yes, it has. And the Coventry City supporters groaning as they see it on the big screens at either end of Wembley Stadium. Well, what rich entertainment this has provided for us. It's been the proverbial roller coaster, Clinton.
It has. It's been one way and then the other, and yeah, it's been fantastic. I still think there's big opportunities even in these last few minutes as well.
Actually, it wasn't a roller coaster, was it? Because it was, as you say, it was one way,
and then it was the other. And now in this extra time, it's been roller coaster. So we'll have that.
Still, Fulham 1, Liverpool 3 on Sports Extra. There's more live sport tonight, by the way. The final round of the Chevron Championship, that'll be on Sports Extra from 8 o'clock. Ian Carter's in Texas for that. But FA Cup, here we go. Sims through the middle. Sims is challenged, it bounces away. Casemiro's taken a knock in that, but joined the club as Anthony has it on the halfway line. Eriksson then, as the sun comes out on Wembley Stadium now, and Højlund brings it forward. Højlund, who had a big chance to perhaps win the match for Manchester United in normal time. Højlund's cross low into the penalty area is cleared away by the recovering Victor Torp, and Manchester United have it again. Harry Maguire forward from him down the left-hand side. What a match it's been, and we've still got the drama of penalties to come, possibly. Forson now running it across the corner of the penalty area, back to Bruno Fernandes, and then Dallow onto his left foot. He wants it back on his right, which he has. Amad Diallo then, still just outside the Coventry penalty area, curled in by Bruno Fernandes. Maguire was there, he was beaten in the air by Sims. Eriksson now a left-footed cross, that's headed away for Coventry by Torp, and then Anthony swings a leg at it in the D. And the shot, the cheers from the Coventry fans tell you that was 3-4 yards over the bar.
Yeah, it was good pressure from Man United. Harry Maguire, he looks injured, but he's still getting forward, John, and creating chances for Man United. But it was good defending at the back post from Sims. Falls to Anthony, and you're thinking that's his big chance. Makes me laugh because Onana was wasting time at 3-0, and now Man United fans are going mad because Collins is taking his time.
Coventry 3, Manchester United 3. Possibility of penalties now 90 seconds away. This could be Coventry City's Istanbul, couldn't it?
Yes, it could.
From 3-0 down. Collins takes the goal kick over the halfway line, but Godden can't reach that, and it's out of play. Throw into Manchester United. Dallow, even at this late stage, sprints down the line, gets the ball back, and takes the throw back to Casemiro. I'm not sure he was expecting that, and his pass back into the area to Onana, and Onana turning away from Godden, and he just kept that in on the dead ball line. Coventry fans were wanting a corner for that, but I think he did keep it in.
Why play like that, John, when you've got tired legs? I find it strange sometimes.
As Bobby Thomas stretches and plays it forward to Maguire on the edge of the penalty area, who heads it away, and then there's a foul, a tug from Torp on Forson. 30 seconds to go plus added time, and then it's penalties. Erik ten Hag in his smart suit with the Manchester United crest on it. Big moments for him. United send it long. This is for Maguire to chase after, but actually Van Eyck has got it, but he's given it away to Eriksson, and Eriksson's cross. Højlund tries to get there, crucial header. Binks went with Højlund, and that was excellent defending, because Højlund, any touch there would probably have flashed into the back of the net. 1 minute of added time. That's how close we are to penalties to decide who reaches the FA Cup final from this. And then De Silva, one last attack for Coventry. Callum O'Hare plays it through, a deflection to Haji Wright. Haji Wright, left side of the penalty area, ball right across the box. It's in! Oh my goodness! Coventry City have won it right at the very end, and Victor Thorpe has slid into the 6-yard box and made it 4-3. The drama, what amazing FA Cup drama! Manchester United from 3-0 up with 20 minutes to play in the FA Cup semi-final are going to lose this. I don't know how they've done it. I don't know how this has happened. Coventry City were dead and buried.
I can't believe it,
and in
John.
the most amazing circumstances, we have a scoreline of Coventry City 4, Manchester United 3, and Eric Ten Hag does not know where to look on the touchline. This might well be the end for him.
He's offside. He's offside.
Oh no.
Haji Wright's offside. I think in the initial first pass, it looks like he might be offside. And I did think up here, Haji Wright, it looked like Wan-Bissaka might have been playing him on. But when I've just looked at it again, it does look like he is offside. They are going to be checking this. But when I look at it, it does look like Haji Wright might just be ahead of Wan-Bissaka. I'm not dead on with the TV. I can see here, but I'm going to have to look straight. But it did look like he was offside.
Whatever people think about VAR, we've got some VAR suspense coming right now. This could be the Manchester United lifeline, and it looks as though it might be offside. Now we've not got pictures with the lines on being shown to us right now, but that does look offside, Clinton. I think you've called that right.
Haji Wright's foot's ahead of the play, so he's offside.
Yeah, so VAR, it looks as though they're about to rule this out. Referee Robert Jones is waiting for the communication from Peter Banks, and he's turning back towards the Manchester United penalty area, and now it's the Manchester United supporters. It's a cheer of relief, and the celebrations of the Coventry fans are stuck in their throats, and it remains 3-3.
I knew it. I kind of thought when he played Haji Wright the ball, I see Man United and he kind of stopped, and they get away with one, but it's not there. It's way further back. I know where Haji Wright was, but he did look offside. I thought maybe Wan-Bissaka might have played him on, but yeah, he was offside.
We've seen such a high there, an emotional high for Coventry City's players who are running in all directions around the pitch. Now, the goal's been ruled out, and they've got to sort themselves here, because Manchester United send it long into the Coventry box, and it's glanced on, it's come off a Coventry head, and it's a Manchester United corner right at the very end. We're now in the 4th minute of added time at the end of extra time. Coventry thought they'd won it in the 1st minute of added time. We're back to all square. Manchester United with a corner. Harry Maguire's looking very, very interested here. The corner to be delivered from Ericsson on the left-hand side.
I think the goalie has to come and help him, John. Has to come and help his team. They won't be able to get off the floor.
This is right under the noses of the Coventry supporters. In it comes Maguire. It's headed away for Coventry. Still inside the box. It's scrambled away. And there's the whistle. And it's all over. It's a 3-3 draw. And this thrilling, amazing, unforgettable FA Cup semi-final will be decided by a penalty shootout. 3-3 Clinton Morrison.
What a game of football we've seen this afternoon, and I'll be honest with you, Coventry should deserve to win it. The offside goal, I understand it's offside, but it's one of those, they were the team pushing, they were the team creating chances, and even though Man United went to the end, but full credit must go to Coventry. 3-0 down and battling back, so it's penalties now. Who's the bravest?
Yeah, and people take a view on VAR. He was offside.
He got it was the right spot on.
It was the right decision, and on that, a great deal could rest. Penalties, though. The drama's not over yet. Don't go anywhere. Coventry City 3, Manchester United 3 after extra time. Katie Smith.
Clinton, you know a match has been a bonkers rollercoaster ride when Manchester United are cheering penalties as though that's winning the match.
Yeah, that's the biggest cheer we've heard all afternoon. I thought Man United fans thought they were going out, but yeah, they can still get through now. But yeah, it's been an unbelievable football match. You're thinking when Man United are 3-0 up, can Coventry pull it back? There's a big gap, a gulf between the two teams, but it doesn't look like it this afternoon. It's been a fantastic football match.
So fans aside, because they have been on a journey, we have been on a journey, the listeners have as well, but let's talk about the players. What are they thinking right now? Because you go from that high of thinking you're the comeback kings once again, now you've got to go through the pressure.
Yeah, listen, this is a hard one. This is a lottery with the penalties, and you just you go into that huddle and you say who's the bravest, who puts their hand up, who wants to take the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then it goes on. And don't change your mind. That's the one thing I'd say as being a player in this experience. Don't change your mind, even if the goalie goes earlier. If you think you're confident enough and you pick your spot, that's what you should do. But whatever happens with Coventry, they've been fantastic.
And it does feel like that is the feeling amongst the fans here below us. It's incredulity. Anything now perhaps is a bonus, but we are here. Penalties to come. Let's check back in the Premier League, in the title race. There's so much action going on today, so much importance at stake. We're going to Craven Cottage, Fulham against Liverpool. Sahel Sahi.
7 minutes to play here, Katie. Fulham 1, Liverpool 3. Liverpool in command, and as things stand, they'll move up to second in the table, level on points with Arsenal. Arsenal on top of the Premier League on goal difference. Goals in the second half from Ryan Gravenberch and Diogo Jota, separating the two sides. They went into the break at 1-1, but Liverpool in control. They're heading for 3 points. They're leading Fulham by 3-1.
So the teams here starting to mass on the halfway line. We've got penalties to come. The sun is glinting on a few of the sky blue shirts over in the middle of the Wembley turf. Just elsewhere today to mark your cards if you are just joining us for the action. Aston Villa came from behind to beat Bournemouth 3-1 in the Premier League, so that keeps their bid for Champions League football next season on track. And Crystal Palace emphatic 5-2 winners over West Ham. A tweet from them as well today. 5 extremely good goals, 2 goals conceded, which we simply have to accept. We will now enjoy our Sunday. Sheffield Wednesday out of the Championship's relegation zone after a 3-1 win at Blackburn. Rangers are into the Scottish Cup final after beating Hearts 2-0 at Hampden Park, so they will face their old firm rivals Celtic next month. In the Women's Super League, Manchester City have gone top. That's after a 5-0 win over West Ham. Arsenal defeated Leicester 3-0 and Manchester United drew 2-2 with Tottenham. Crystal Palace need 1 more point to be promoted to the WSL. They beat Lewes 2-0 today, and Lewes have been relegated from the Championship as a result. So a match, it has given us pretty much everything, and it has come down to this, to a penalty shootout at Wembley Stadium. We've seen a few of them, some key ones over the last couple of years, but could this be the moment for Coventry City up against Manchester United? I'll hand you back to our commentary team, to former Coventry striker Clinton Morrison alongside our correspondent John Murray.
So a penalty shootout to decide who comes back here to play Manchester City next month, and we've had the tossing of the coin, and the first toss has gone Manchester United's way, and the penalties are going to be taken at the Manchester United end of the ground, so to our left. And so Manchester United supporters are all around horseshoeing that end of Wembley Stadium, and it is Manchester United who are also going to take the first penalty, so Coventry have put them in, and it's Casemiro who's going to take the first one.
But he's got a bit. I've never seen that, John. You know, like the penalty taker there waiting way before the goalkeepers, the referee spoke to the goalkeeper, so he is keen, Casemiro.
And I also noticed as well that Bradley Collins, the Coventry goalkeeper, spent quite a while off the side of the field getting a full briefing on what was to come here. So let's see how he stands up. So Eric Ten Hag is standing down there with his coaches, Steve McLaren to his left, Mitchell van der Gaag to his right. This clearly an enormous moment for all concerned, as the first of the penalties is about to be taken by the experienced Brazilian international captain Casemiro. Right-footed, here he comes, and it's saved down the middle. Collins dived to his right, but barely had to move to parry it away. And the twist of the penalty shootout, the first one goes the way of Coventry.
It's exactly like Bernardo Silva's, and you're right, John. If you do your homework, which their goalkeeper coaches has done, Casemiro always goes down the middle. So sometimes you can look a fool as a goalkeeper. He doesn't move in it. It's a good save from Collins, but it's a test now for Haji Wright, having scored one in the normal time.
Yep, Haji Wright now will take the first penalty for Coventry, and it was Haji Wright who scored the penalty right at the end of the 90 minutes in added time. Now there he sent Onana the wrong way. Onana went to his right, and the ball ended up in the other bottom corner. So Haji Wright, this to give Coventry an early advantage in the shootout. It's a direct run-up, a straight run-up, just like it was last time, and I'm sure it'll be the same routine He'll set off, there'll be a little stutter. Here he goes, there's the little stutter, the little steps, and he goes the other way, and he beats Onana, who dived the other way, but the ball has ended up just like it did during the course of the match in the back of the Manchester United net, and it's 1-1. It's 1-0 to Coventry.
It's a brilliant penalty, John. It's a brilliant penalty. He sends Onana the wrong way. I don't like the stutter, but you know what? Fair play to him. He's mastered it, and it's a really good penalty.
Well, Coventry had the advantage, but remember in the penalty shootout in Manchester the other night, it was Manchester City who had the early advantage and Real Madrid went through, as sometimes, actually very often happens. It's Diego Dalot to take the next one, the fullback for Manchester United. He's standing on the edge of the area and he steps out to his left, little steps from him as well, right-footed, sends Collins the wrong way. And Manchester United have scored their first penalty of the shootout, and it is 1-1.
Yeah, it's a good penalty from Dalot. He's not going down the middle, he's picking his spot, and it's a really confident penalty.
So next for Coventry, it is the Danish substitute, the midfielder Victor Torp, who thought he'd won it when he scored, or at least put the ball in the net in the final minute of added time at the end of extra time, but the goal was ruled out for offside. He's had an extraordinarily positive impact on this match. This to edge Coventry back in front. He's got the ball on the spot and he steps back 4-5 steps. So it's a shorter run up this. Right-footed penalty for Torp for Coventry, and into the top corner with Onana going the wrong way. And he punches the air. What a relief. And that's Manchester United 2-1 down in the shootout.
Yeah, it's a great penalty. I'm thinking when you're leaning back like that, but yeah, you're right, it goes right into that top corner. Fantastic penalty.
So it's Eriksen next for Manchester United. Christian Eriksen, again one of the most experienced men. Manchester United, who this time last year won through in a penalty shootout in the semi-final, if you remember, when Victor Lindelof ended up scoring the winning goal. He's one of the men on the injured list. And of course Luton were winners against Coventry in the playoff final in the penalty shootout at the end of last season. Differing emotions, but this is now, and Christian Eriksen scores very, very well. Drove it inside the left post as he looked at it, and it is now 2-2 in the shootout.
Yeah, it's a confident penalty from Christian Eriksen. Collins didn't even move. It's O'Hare. I'm not sure with O'Hare and penalties, you know, John. I don't know. I hope he does score, but I'm a bit nervous for him. I hope he proves me wrong.
Callum O'Hare walks forward. Just noticed as well, it's at the Manchester United end, and there's a big Glazers out banner.
Yeah, there is.
It's right. This will be right in the sights of the television cameras, and there is Glazer presence here today. But this to edge Coventry back in front. O'Hare saved by Onana, diving to his right, went the right way, and now Coventry have missed one. And it remains 2-2.
I just know, John, you know when you can just know someone with their technical ability. He's got good technique, but I never fancied him when he was going up to take it.
So we're all square. After 3 penalties each, it is 2-2. And now the consummate penalty taker. He's scored more penalties for Manchester United than anyone else. It's Bruno Fernandes. Although he has missed one this season, doesn't score them all. Bruno Fernandes, short run up from him. He's ready now. Collins on the line. This to put Manchester United in front, and he scores into the bottom corner with the goalkeeper diving the wrong way to his right. And it is now 3-2 in the shootout to Manchester United. And it's after the Manchester United captain, it's the Coventry captain, Ben Sheaf, who's walking forward. Ben Sheaf, one of Coventry City's most important men. And he's taking his time, as they say you should do. And there's a yellow card for Onana. So
he got booked. Didn't he get booked earlier on?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He got booked for time wasting. So he I don't know how it works.
We know he's safe.
Yeah,
he's not being sent off.
Exactly.
So it's a short run up for Ben Sheaf. Sheaf, ready to take this. Onana bobbing on the line. Sheaf, it's over the bar. He's cleared the crossbar, and he puts his hands to his face. And now it's Manchester United who lead 3-2, and Haji Wright is running forward to console his captain as he walks back. And other teammates as well are coming to over the bar, and that could be it. One more penalty for Manchester United and they'll be through, and Coventry will be out.
I don't know how you put it over the bar. I find it hard to put a penalty over the bar. I see a lot of players do it, but I don't know. It's pressure at the end of the day, John, man. You know what? These Coventry players have been excellent, but Hoyland's not had the best game, and he could end up scoring a winning penalty here.
Yes, he could. The young striker in his first season for Manchester United. It's down to him now. If he scores this, we will indeed have an all-Manchester FA Cup final. And Collins moves back onto his line. I think that might have been a yellow card for him as well. It was. So this to win it for Manchester United. Hoyland steps out to his right, left-footed, scores, it's in, and Manchester United somehow have found a way through. They're into the FA Cup final to play Manchester City, and Coventry City, who were down and out, who came back from the dead, who thought they'd won it right at the end of extra time, only for a goal to be ruled out by VAR for offside, have now been beaten in a penalty shootout. 1,000 agonies for their supporters and all of their players in sky blue down there. And it's Manchester United who go through, and what relief for them. They've got off the hook, Manchester United, no question.
They sure have. If they play like that against Man City, they'll get beat 6 or 7, because let me tell you something, full credit, Man United have got through, well done, but it's all about Coventry this afternoon. They've been fantastic. Just when the penalties come, it's a pressure penalties, and you have to credit Man United. Man United penalties were outstanding, and Onana makes a big save, and yeah, it's a pressure thing. You never like to see things decided in penalties, but that's the way it goes. But credit Coventry and congratulations to Man United.
And so often with penalty shootouts, you'll see frenzied celebrations. Not here.
No.
These are reserved celebrations from Manchester United, who can look forward to the FA Cup final, but they know that they've been put through the ringer by Coventry City. Yeah, they've had to win it twice.
They got away with it, John. That's what they got away with. That's why the celebrations are not like going wild from Man United, because they know it should have been over, but you got to credit Coventry. I think that today is all about Coventry City. Credit Man United, they've got through, done the job, now they play Man City. But it's all about Coventry this afternoon.
Yeah, 3-0 down with 20 minutes to play. Coventry came back to 3-3. They thought they'd won it right at the end of the match, but that offside line ruled out Victor Torp's goal, and there we are. Their second FA Cup semi-final ends in defeat. But one thing's for certain, in the future, when Coventry City are at Wembley in the FA Cup, don't miss it.
Yes.
But their flags are waving, the Manchester United seats are emptying. Yet actually, if you walked into the ground now, you'd think it was Coventry who were through and Manchester United who were out. But it's the very opposite. Coventry City 3, Manchester United 3 after extra time, and Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United are through after winning 4-2 in the penalty shootout. So in 2024, just like 2023, we will have an all-Manchester FA Cup final.
And it's as though those Coventry fans, Clinton, are wafting their pride with the flags that they're waving. The team, Mark Robbins, the manager, have gone over. They're doing a lap around their fans, who have been outstanding today. The first thing I noticed, though, as that shot went in, that final penalty from McTominay, I don't know if you saw this, Anthony turning round to the Coventry fans, cupping his ears, saying, "Where are you now? Are you listening?" That just doesn't seem to be the point to me of this match.
Yeah, but that's him. That's him as a player. He needs to worry about his own job instead of worrying about Coventry, because the way his performances are, he could be playing in the Championship next season. So instead of doing that to the Coventry fans, start producing on the pitch when Man United need you. These fans, these Coventry City fans, have been outstanding, and that's why they stay there. Look at Man United. It's hard. Man United have just gone through. It's half empty. Look at Coventry City fans staying there with their teammates.
Their players already off the pitch.
That's
Clinton.
what I mean.
Eric Ten Hag off before them. It's such a stark contrast here.
It is a stark contrast, and that's because probably Man United fans are disappointed being 3-0 up against a Championship team. Thinks they should have took them to the cleaners. But you have to. This for me, it's all about Coventry City. As I said, well done to Man United getting through. But you can see by Man United's reaction, they weren't overexcited. They're happy to be through, but they know the performance was nowhere near good enough.